Hello and welcome.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
Hello and welcome to Hearthside Enclave. Hope's Hearth podcast is doing this charity stream for Seattle Pride. We are here to play Ocean Tides. I am Will. I use the pronouns A and M, which work like they, them, but singular and without the TH. I will be playing Moira, who uses she, her pronouns and is a mermaid. With me today are introduce yourselves, folks.
I'll go first. Hi, I'm Stephanie, using she, her. I am part of Charm Person Games. We're a queer women owned professional game master for hire service. You can check us out at charmpersongames.com. And today I'm going to be playing Mary Soul using she, her pronouns. And she is a naval officer from the Republic. Extremely straight lace. We'll see for how long that lasts.
And Nichelle.
Hi, I'm Nichelle. I go by she, her pronouns. And today I will be playing a cephalopodic mermaid, um, Namira, uh, who pretty much is a little curious, a little cunning, and possibly up to no good, but who knows? I guess we'll find out.
The game begins. Oh, I don't have the game open. The game begins with everyone doing a uh, single thing. What's the word for
We're doing
monologue?
the monologue.
Oh, right. Wait, we first have to talk about the ocean.
Yeah, we've got a few
Uh,
things left to build. So we have our ocean, the sea is, and we need two adjectives.
I've heard vast and ancient suggested. Does anyone have any other suggestions?
Well, those were my suggestions of vast and ancient, but we've also our options include tumultuous, rolling, calm, deep, stormy, unpredictable, gentle, and uncharted. And we also have the option of creating our own.
I like Uncharted, actually.
Okay, I like that
I
too.
think that would be a good one.
Awesome. All right. And then
So let's do Uncharted and ancient, vast, stormy,
what do you think,
deep.
Michelle?
I think ancient would give a little bit more mystique to it.
Yeah, I agree. All right. So
All
we'll do
right.
so our sea is ancient and uncharted. And then next we pick a climate. Our options are temperate, tropical, frigid, mixed, unpredictable, or make up our own. Ooh. I voted for unpredictable because I think that opens a lot of like fun roleplay possibilities.
I like unpredictable too. It means we can have different ecosystems on different islands.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and dramatically appropriate storms showing up.
Yeah. Dramatically appropriate calms trapping you in the middle of a Sargasso Sea.
I like that.
Excellent. All
Okay.
right.
Unpredictable it
Unpredictable.
is. And how much land is there? Oh, two of us typing at the same time. And where is it?
What do you think, Michelle?
Uh,
Hmm. I think a bunch of different islands would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I like
yeah,
that
let's
too.
have some archipelagos.
Yeah.
I think it might be interesting if like there just wasn't a lot of like big pieces of land. Like sure, there's land lots of places wherever you need it, but they tend to be like really small.
So you have to be on the ocean
Okay.
more often than usual, than other places. Yeah, I like that. Gives our motive, our insurance and warranty things a little bit more meaning.
That's right. We the mermaids are hull insurance people.
I can't wait
We
to
clear
take
off
that to a
barnacles.
ridiculous degree. I cannot wait.
So I'm writing archipelagos of small islands
Yeah.
everywhere. And presumably polar ice caps.
Yeah.
As- Because this is theoretically in the same universe, sort of, as Hope's Hearth. And so we are on a planet,
Mhm.
approximately.
Approximately.
Well, we had bits occur on various asteroids, clumps of asteroids, just on a spaceship.
Yep.
It could be a ring world. Maybe someone built a ring world somewhere. We should decide what. So there's magic enough for mermaids to exist on land briefly, and to bring their partners underwater. What other kinds of magic is there? Do pirates have magic? Does the Navy?
So I thought it might be interesting if like at least the Republic Navy, which is, the organization, country, state that I chose for my character, I think it's interesting if they at least kind of like really discourage the use of magic, even if somebody in the Navy has access to it, they just kind of like discourage it because they're about like law and order and like not having chaotic magic that you can't predict kind of thing.
So magic is chaotic.
I feel
Um,
like pretty much all magic is. I've never seen a magic system where it's like super logical, like math magic, you know?
I've seen math magic, but that didn't necessarily mean it was super logical.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen
Uh,
that too, which I think is so cool. Yeah, but the whole point of magic, I think, is that it like doesn't follow the rules. That's why it's magic.
so do you think pirates use magic a lot?
Oh yeah, they would have to, right? Like they're pirates. They don't care about rules.
Sometimes they sink because the magic they use gets out of control. But, well,
Yeah, and that's what the
sometimes
Republic
you
would like
sink.
to avoid, you know?
I think the mermaids probably have a pretty good handle on some types of magic, like the type of magic that lets them let humans breathe underwater, but
Mhm.
not a great handle on larger scale magics like weather magic.
Mhm.
How's that sound to you, Nichelle?
I think that's good. Um, I think it also could very much be like whoever is like the leaders in the mermaids would know a little bit more of like the different types of magic, but depending on like what your specialization is, you only know like that type of magic.
Yeah, I like that. Do you think that magic is like is a
Yeah.
is a thing that anyone can learn, or do you think that like you're kind of like born with like certain talents?
I think you're probably better at some things, but I like it if everyone can learn it.
Okay.
Hmm.
I mean, my brother's a much better musician than I am, but I could theoretically learn a lot of his skill like
Yeah,
that.
my brain went to music analogy too.
So, Nichelle, we need to put in a couple of uh mermaid villagers.
Okay.
uh,
I'm adding And can you introduce us to your naval subordinates, Stephanie?
Absolutely. So I came up with two. I've got Dylan using
Hmm.
he, him pronouns, who is young and eager to prove himself and just starry eyed. I think maybe like, very early in his naval career and just happy and excited to be here and prove that, he belongs here, that he's going to make his mark too. And then I came up with Kit using they, she. And I said, older than God, tough but loving parental advice. So I think
Nice.
yeah, just somebody who's been in the Navy a long time, but like isn't an officer and is like not real interested in being an officer, or else they could have been because they've been here forever. They could have gotten some kind of rank, but they've just very much been like, no, I don't, no, thank you. But like any officer who has like two brain cells to rub together listens to what Kit has to say.
So is Marisol an officer or a non-commissioned officer?
I think
Like
an
a
officer,
captain,
yeah.
like a lieutenant type person, or a captain of her own ship?
Definitely not a captain. I think like I have like no grasp at all on ranks, I'll be honest with you. I think like not the most important people on the ship. But not like I think she's been in the Navy for a few years and has gotten like a rank or two kind of thing. So she's definitely not like the lowest rank on the ship. But also not like not super important. I don't know. She's like fifth or so, I guess, down. I guess it depends on the size of the ship, but if you're thinking of a crew around like,
Okay.
if there's a crew around like 30-ish people, she's probably like, I don't know, fifth or sixth down the list of ranks.
So does the Republic start everyone at the same rank and
Probably
then
not.
promote just in general?
I'm imagining it, like
What?
my like loose understanding of how like American military systems work, that like it depends on how you enter into the Navy, like what do you bring with you? Like if you're really young and don't really
Mhm.
have any kind of like experience or special training, like you're gonna start all the same rank. And I think probably a lot of people start at about that rank, but just not enlisted. Definitely went in as an officer. Um,
Okay. So I'm suddenly realizing how little I actually know about the Navy.
yeah, I don't know very much about
Tell
the
us
Navy. I
what
know.
sets you apart from the pirates.
So I said that the Navy has a strong code of honor and conduct, including minimizing injury and death to opponents. The Republic's, I'm thinking, a mostly good city state, Um, and pirates, we have decided, are opportunistic and bloodthirsty. Whether they actually are, I guess, is probably more up for debate. But the Republic certainly thinks of pirates as bloodthirsty and opportunistic, and like would sell you out for a French fry, that kind of thing. And the Navy is very much like, no, we have honor, and we, want to avoid gratuitous bloodshed and that kind of thing. So our morals and our strict code of conduct is what sets us apart from pirates. We're not lawless.
Awesome. Nichelle, can you introduce us to these mermaid villagers you've just added?
Yeah. So the first one is I'm doing the Kraken, who is an ancient being that Namira views as like a mentor in her magic training. I feel like
Ooh.
there's various ancient beings that
Wow.
the mermaid villagers and like the elders and whatnot definitely use or come to for prayers or like learning the magic. I think that's kind of a cool little thing. And then the second one is Minnow, who goes by they, them, who's a young mermaid who loves to follow Namira and the rest of the mermaids around, kind of mimicking like what they do and whatnot as they work.
That's so cute. Does the Kraken have any pronouns?
I think they're ancient enough to where they don't really have any. I think they just are the Kraken. I don't know if there's at least Namira wouldn't be aware of any particular pronouns.
Awesome. I love that. I love both of these.
Ooh. So I'm introducing Silver Dawning, who goes by he, him, and is a former human who was lost at sea and specializes in military stuff, fighting and things. And Casey, uh, a kid who looks up to Moira but thinks Minnow is a suck up. Minnow is probably not a suck up, but Casey thinks so.
Love that. Do you think that Silver Dawning was maybe a member of the Navy or some kind of military before?
Silver Silver Dawning was definitely a member of a military, but I think from a different city state.
Okay. Yeah, I think the other options there was a monarchy and what was the other one?
Oh, let's see.
The Empire. And then also like a collection of merchants, privateers, and other citizens of the sea. So we don't have to decide
Yeah, I think
where
it
he's
was
from
a
now, but
monarchy.
okay.
I think it was a monarchy, but I don't know if what the relationship between that monarchy and the republic was. I guess we'll find out when
Yeah.
Silver finds out that some of his friends are interested in a um, naval officer of the republic.
Yeah. All right.
Let's
Playing to
do
find out is one of my
monologues
favorite
now.
things.
Hmm.
All right. Who wants to go
So,
first with
a
monologue?
monologue. Nichelle, how you doing?
I knew you were gonna pick me.
I'm
What
just checking in.
when am I supposed to be monologuing? Just my character is kind of like a little introduction, I guess.
It's page 8
No,
of
go
the
to page
PDF.
9.
Goodness.
8 or
Yes, yes,
9.
Yeah,
yes.
8 on the document, 9 in the file.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So I need to pick one of these.
Well, you start with
Mhm.
the monologue. So yeah, just tell us what you've been doing, what's happened. Um, yeah.
Okay. Can you tell I've not played this game before?
Oh, good. I haven't played it before either. So
Um, all right. So I think that Namira saw a ship passing by on the surface and then caught the eye of the crew to open a line of communication uh, to essentially try to sell them on some extended warranties. Um, yeah, I think that's what Namira has been up to before she catches up with everyone else.
how did it go? Did they like take you up? Did you have to do a hard sale?
I mean, I think she kind of like flicks her hair back a little bit. Not that much of a hard sale.
Is that how it typically goes for her?
Namira got the skills.
Yeah. I think Namira like definitely doesn't have to like try super hard to fill them out. But like she like holds up the contract, the little purse of coin and is like, we got another one. I don't know what is up with all of these pirates. They only ever sign with usually like an X or something. It's a really unique signature. I see it all over the place.
Do you think is Namira like one of the best like salespeople for the whole warranties?
I wouldn't say probably the best, but I think she's pretty competent in what she does.
Nice.
I'll go next. A
Go for it.
great beast trespassed into the waters of my people, and it passed us by without incident but left us shaken. I'm imagining a colossal squid, one of the ones that lives down in the the ravines underneath Antarctica. One
Mm.
of those big cold adapted, like, I cannot emphasize big enough, squids just came out of the cold waters and went by, and we don't know why, but we're kind of scared. It didn't hurt us. We didn't attack it. It didn't attack us. But what the heck?
Is your like
Uh,
mermaid village in the like Arctic, or is it like super like far from home?
I think it's Moira's village is closer to the Arctic, but not close enough for this to make sense.
Mm.
And so Moira is going to be a bit shook when she next meets Namira and when they go a hunting for hull warranties.
Are you guys in the same village?
Well, Casey and Minnow know each other. Maybe we're from nearby villages?
It could be from the same one if you wish, or a nearby one. I don't have a preference.
If we go for nearby villages, then Namira doesn't have to have an opinion about the big squid.
Sure, that works.
Okay, so you think like nobody's like seen this happen before, or at least nobody in like living memory has seen these giant squids go by, or do you think there's like an elder who remembers it happening before?
An elder who remembers it happening from when they were a little baby.
Wow. Okay, so
It's
yeah, this
their
is super rare.
first memory. Yeah. What about you? What is your monologue?
Okay. So I think Marisol and her ship stopped at a port to resupply recently. Um, and I think spent some time decompressing while we were there because I think we just had like a stressful mission and now it's over and we're kind of like relaxing a little bit. And I think we see a lot of little scenes of like Marisol not really relaxing the way she should be. I think there's like a scene of like I'm at the bar with a few like fellow officers and they're getting really like loud and rowdy and drunk and like having a good time and I'm just like quietly sipping like a single drink and kind of like laughing a little bit but like and they keep trying to get me to like participate in like shenanigans and I'm like no I'm fine it's good enjoy yourselves I'm quite happy here with my single weak beer or like there's like dart games and I won't do it or like people are like swimming at the beach but like I'm still in my like uniform and won't like wear like a bathing costume kind of thing. I'm just like no fine I've got my toes in the sand and I've like taken off my boots and socks and that's like as far as I've gotten kind of thing. um Definitely several scenes of that. Like I like find a library and get like or find a bookstore and I get like buy a very practical book I think and sit in a park and read it. Like a very dry boring history book about like the history of like the republic's relations ships with other like city states, and everyone else around me is like, "Oh yeah, like we're gonna buy more booze, or we're buying fancy clothes with our money that we just got." And I'm just like, "No, I'm buying a very dry, boring history book that will help me in my job."
Oh, wow. Wow. Some people, and I include myself in this, are like that.
Yeah, see, it's fine, fine. Somebody's like giving me a hard time, and I'm just like, "No, no, this is my idea of relaxing and like." I think Kit is just like, "Kid, you gotta go like live a little while you're young," and I'm trying to encourage me to do something like silly and reckless, and I just like won't do it.
That's beautiful.
Gotta
Love
listen
it.
to Kit.
Like, it's fine, Kid, it's fine.
Um, I like to start games like this with a chase. Um,
Okay,
tick, 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 tick. Marisol, are you up for being pursued?
sure, always 100.
So, setting up, you and your chosen partner play. Determine which of you is the quarry and which of you is the hunter. We've done that. What do we notice about each other? So, I think you notice that Marisol's hair, no, no, not Marisol's, Moira's hair is all out of its braids and flying around her face and getting in the way.
Mhm.
What does Moira notice about Marisol?
Um, I think in contrast, Marisol is like very well groomed. I think her hair is like pinned up in like a military appropriate style with like not a single hair out of place. And my hat is very securely fashioned, and all my buttons are buttoned up. All my buttons are nice and shiny. Like my jacket fits very well. Like everything is exactly like my boots are shiny. Which is maybe not the most practical thing at sea, but I polish them every night. Um, yeah, I think that's something you notice, and I think also that like I keep like staring at Moira. I'm just like, oh wow, that's a mermaid, a cephalopod mermaid.
I think almost
So
like
we should
Marisol's
decide.
own. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you finish.
Oh, I was gonna say I think almost Marisol like how their spit shined and perfect. Even the reflection in the water is even a little bit more like even more shiny.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
We should decide if this chase is taking place using ships. Um,
Hmm. I kind of like the idea if maybe like I'm in like a little like a small boat, like a little rowboat or lifeboat with like one or two other people because I'm out like getting supplies from like a really small island. Like there's not a settlement on this island. We're just going and like I don't know, getting
picking
like picking
berries.
it. Yeah, picking berries and like resupplying water because there's like a spring on it, kind of thing. But it's not big enough to support like people and like Moira's in the water.
Okay.
I like
Um,
that.
you like that?
Hmm.
Okay. I just didn't hear.
Yeah, you're
Sorry,
coming through pretty
my
quiet
voice
for me, Nichelle.
my voice is really quiet, and this microphone makes it worse. I'm sorry. I will speak up.
Okay.
Yeah, I turned
Thank
you
you.
up too, so to help. I turned you up as loud as I could on the in the voice uh settings.
Yeah, how do I do that?
You right click
Um,
on her picture, and then it gives you an option to pull the slider up.
yeah. Okay. Say something.
Hello.
Okay, that's better.
Neat.
Yay.
Um, our next question is what have we heard about each other? I
Okay.
think you've heard that there are mermaids in these waters.
Yeah, for sure. But I feel like maybe I haven't
What
seen any yet, or at least I definitely haven't seen any like mermaids that look like you guys with like the cephalopod bottoms.
mhm. What has Moira heard about the Republic or about your ship in specific?
Let's see here. Oh, I should have come up with a name for my ship and I didn't. Um, I let's see here. What does it say about? Um, I think like a lot of city states, the navy is kind of very wary of mermaids, you know, because they're inherently magical
Mhm.
and therefore kind of like out of the realms of like order, which we really like. And there's like reputations that mermaids like to lead ships astray to crash them. Um, and maybe some mermaids do that, but definitely not all mermaids. But like the Navy is not really interested in a whole lot of nuance. Excuse me, and so assumes that all mermaids are going to do that. So I'm like wary of you. Like I'm fascinated because you're so cool looking, and I've never seen one like you before. But like also, ooh, mermaids are dangerous, kind of thing. So you can see that like definitely like that's what you've heard, but like I think it's kind of obvious that like I am warring with what I've been told about mermaids and like fascination at staring at you.
Okay. Um, the next question is, how did the hunter come to be chasing the quarry? Moira wants to sell Marisol Hull insurance.
And I think um Marisol is very much like, nope, nope, don't trust you, nope, no thank you, have a good day, we're not interested, madam.
Where is the chase taking place? We established that it's off of a small island that you were refueling from,
Hmm.
rewatering at.
Yeah.
Anyone may ask questions at any time about the way ahead, the way behind, the setting, and the circumstances. The quarry leads playing the game. The quarry leads the chase. The quarry chooses a series of 4 challenges and admissions from the least below. Choose freely, but one choice must be an admission. You will each gain coins during the chase that represent the distance or lack thereof between you. If the chase is taking place using ships, choose from the ship challenges and ship admissions list. So,
Am I the
ship
quarry?
challenges, you are the quarry.
Okay.
I am chasing you.
Excellent. Okay.
And we're
Um
in a ship,
And to verify, Namira, my character, is not in this scene, correct?
not in this scene, no.
yeah,
Okay.
but you
But
could
you can
still ask
ask questions.
questions. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. I'm reading through my options here.
And remember, we are collecting for Seattle Pride. Seattle Pride is a great cause supporting queer folks in this great city of Seattle. And I am looking up a dice roller because I forgot.
Okay. I think it's a coin flip. Um,
Yeah, flip a coin to get heads or tails.
all right. All right. So I think I'm going to choose my first challenge. I draw you through a razor sharp coral reef. Follow me if you dare, but throw. On tails, you must find a way around the reef, or your ship, which I assume is actually you, will be laid open, and I would gain a coin if you got a tails.
Okay, let's see. It's spinning. I got tails. You gain a coin.
Excellent. So,
So you
Looks like you would also get
navigate through
hurt.
this
Yeah.
reef. I start to follow you, then realize I can't fit back out because I can do that because I have hands, and then navigate around. So you think you're free, and then I reappear saying, "But consider, barnacles are such a problem."
And I'm like, we're in the Navy, we have people who take care of that. I don't know that I can really negotiate on behalf of the entire Republic Navy. I'm not even charged of this ship. I'm really not the best person for this. And I'm like looking around while I'm saying this, like I'm not looking at you directly. And try to figure out where to go next. Um, let's see. What another challenge? So we're out of the razor sharp coral reef, but now I'm gonna lead you through rocky waters. Follow me if you dare. And on tails, you are gonna nearly founder on the rocks, and I'll gain a coin.
Right? Let me flip. Heads.
Excellent. Okay.
Neither of us gains a coin.
Yeah, but you
So
make it
I
through really
navigate
easily.
through the rocky waters because I can grab onto the rocks and pull myself along, which you can't do with coral because that'll slice you open.
Right. So it doesn't even stop you. And I'm like, dang it, should have thought of that. Look at all those arms she's got. All oh man. Um. Okay. Let's see.
Remember, one of them has to be a ship admission.
Yeah, I'm taking a look here. Let's say the winds and currents shift out of my favor, and we must row or be dead in the water. On a heads, you're able to row or guess swim faster than me and begin to overtake me. So I'm gonna say that I'm using a die, and I'm gonna say that evens are heads and odds are tails.
Okay.
And I got an even, so that's a heads. So you get 2 coins. You gain on me, and
I
you get
get
2 coins.
2 coins.
So I'm like suddenly like, oh crap, and I'm like getting down, and it's like me and like one other person, and we're just like rowing like mad, but we're not very good at this because like I'm a little panicked and we're not coordinating well, and I'm not like doing the chanting the way like I should to like get us in sync with each other. So we're not being very efficient at our rowing.
And I start catching up.
Oh yeah, like easily. I think you like overtake us, and it's like easy for you to like swim right next to the little boat and like continue pitching.
We can also deal with sea worms. Can you deal with sea worms? They're poisonous to humans, but to
Like,
us, they are a tasty delicacy.
I get like a horrified expression on my face and turn to look at you and like, sea worms? Oh, you eat those? They're so gross. I mean, sorry, I don't mean to insult your cuisine. It's they do not look very appetizing to humans. Sorry.
Well, you do things to your food with fire. That's weird.
Oh, it's delicious. Uh, I think I am gonna sail dangerously close to a sandbar. Follow me if you dare. On tails, you have to give it a wide berth or run aground.
And that would be annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Spinning, spinning, spinning. Tails.
Excellent. So you
So
have to run aground, yeah, and I'll gain a coin.
so we have 2 coins and 2 coins. Ending the game. If the hunter has as many or more coins than the quarry chooses one from the list below.
Did we do 4? I thought we only did 3.
Well, you've
This is
got 2 coins, I've got 2 coins, and there was one where neither of us gained a coin.
right. This is after a series of 4 challenges and admissions. The game ends. Then you tally up the
Yeah.
points. And we've only done 3. We
Oh,
haven't done 4.
I think we have done 4. Nichelle?
Oh wait, we did. I can't count. That was my issue. Sorry. It was Reese, Rocks, Current, and Sandbar. You're right.
Mhm.
Whoopsies.
Okay.
I haven't been awake very
Um,
long.
It's all good. It's all good.
welcome to the waking.
If the quarry has more coins than the hunter, they are able to escape. If the hunter has equal or more coins, the quarry chooses from the list below. Okay. I think you've proven yourself and I let you catch me, is what is happening here. I'm just like, I give up. I'm like slump down. Like, what's your cheapest policy?
Well, for a ship like this, and I give a small number because it's just a dinghy.
Yeah. I'm like, all right, fine. And I'll like sign like the like damp paper. Ooh, do you think that mermaids use like some kind of like seaweed based paper so that it doesn't get ruined in the water?
Yeah.
I would suspect so.
That's pretty cool. All right,
I would
excellent.
almost think that sometimes like we have like special little like barnacles or mussels that grow on like some of our special seaweed papers so you know which village it's kind of like a seal of approval, like a seal.
Ooh, I like that. That's really
Uh
cool.
so like
Ooh.
different villages have like a different species or something like that that's usually attached. So
Yeah,
essentially we
I
grow our
like
paper.
it.
yeah, I love that. That's amazing. Excellent. Cool. Okay, so I'll like just very reach out and like put my signature on there, give you the coins, and I'm like, it's just for the dinghy, right?
Just for the dinghy.
Right, and I'll like put like the Republic Navy like as the beneficiary. Like I don't even put myself listed anywhere on the contract because like that would be like unethical.
And
Like
then
you're a tenacious salesperson, madam.
thank you. And then Moira ducks down and under the ship and starts peeling off barnacles.
Oh,
And there's a noise of chewing. You had a sea worm.
excellent. Like suppress a shudder a little bit, like let you work and just like kind of look at my crewmate a little dejectedly.
I bet your crewmate is laughing at you a little bit.
Yeah, probably. Just like trying real hard to like suppress it. I think it's Kit. And Kit's just kind of like chuckling a little bit, but isn't gonna say anything out loud because I am technically their like higher rank than them. But like I definitely am like, oh, please don't judge me, Kit. I'm sorry. And I will thank you when you finish. Be like, may I know your name?
Oh, I'm Moira.
Moira. Marisol. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Moira holds up an arm and is like, "You shake hands, right?"
Yes, we do. And I'll like lean over and like kind of tentatively take your tentacle because I'm not sure how hard to like shake. Like, oh, that's quite interesting. Oh, okay. Um, my first time meeting a cephalopodal mermaid. Is that how you would say it?
Sure. In this language.
Right. I'm excellent. Well, again, you are quite tenacious. Congratulations on your sale. Thank you for your on your sell. Thank you for your service. Um,
Upsell, upsell, upsell.
Moira is not good at upselling and is starting to blush, which looks kind of funny because her skin is not exactly like human skin. So most of places it's red, but some places it's sort of orangey.
do you think it's got
And
like a
and
pattern the way like octopuses can like have like a pattern?
yeah, yeah, it does. There are rings of orange that are showing up now that she's blushing. and she flips upside down and swims away.
Marisol's like, fascinating. How fascinating. I must get a book on cephalopods. And I'll go back to
Nichelle,
the ship.
since you weren't in that scene, do you want to start a scene?
Um, I think it might be good to say that like Namira was watching Moira
Uh,
go ahead and do their pitch, her sale, and kind of like give the thumbs up, and then like go in for like a customer service review of
my
like,
gosh.
please please answer these 3 questions on our customer service.
Are you also
So,
doing a chase?
um,
What
I
what
mean,
what
is Marisol moving on?
Yeah, I
I
think
think
she would have like,
Marisol
yeah,
is
gone back to the ship. So
right.
I guess it would be a chase.
awesome. All right. So you're trying to chase me down to like get like a customer service survey finished. Okay. Let's do this one on land. So we can say that we're on land somewhere.
Okay.
Maybe you hadn't gotten the water yet and you were on land to get it.
Or like maybe like this is a day or two later kind of for the survey.
It could be. I think Namira will probably just sort of be like lounging, like, not necessarily like getting a tan, but getting a little bit of sun somewhere. Of course, it happens to be right where Marisol is walking.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like a port, maybe like a trade port. So I'm like trying to get back to the ship after doing some trade. And you see
Hmm.
me like, oh right, I recognize you.
What do you notice about each other? Each person tells the other what they noticed about them.
Nice.
That
Um
sentence had too many pronouns to be clear.
what does Marisol notice about Nymeria?
Um, she's definitely different from the last mermaid that you saw. Um, but I think her position, like where she's lounging, is a little different. That kind of I think takes you aback a little bit. Um, kind of similar features to Moira. I mean, these mermaids are ethereal and alluring. I don't think that there's a drastic difference between the two of them,
All right.
besides coloration and hair and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. And I think you notice Marisol has got um like some like a is carrying a couple of books and like a satchel. And it's like not closing because like I like it's not designed to hold books. But I've like shoved a couple of books in there.
Mm.
Um and I'm like holding one and like flipping through it while walking, which is, not smart, but it's a thing I'm doing. And like you can tell from like the spine and the covers of these books that like there's one on like cephalopod biology and physiology, and like then there's one on like a primer on mermaid cultures, and probably like another one on like the general like deep sea life. Like I'm like trying to do some research now that I've like met some mermaids.
Hmm.
Very nerdy.
So what have you heard?
Well, I think Namira has definitely heard that like Moira sold me some hull insurance by just like refusing to give up and chasing me until it wore me down.
Yeah, I think that's That's probably how it happened. The Nuera is like, well, did you do that customer survey? And Moira's probably like, no. And Mira's like, don't worry, I'll go ahead and do it for you.
What has Marisol heard about Namira?
Um, I don't know. She's technically from a different village than Moira. I'm not sure if you would have really heard anything about Namira
So maybe make it
specifically.
about maybe mermaids in general, or like your like village.
Yeah, I think
Maybe there's something in the books I
probably
read.
the I think probably something you would have heard is like you mentioned to like another naval officer or somebody like another ship's captain of like, yeah, I was sold some hull insurance or something, and they're like, oh yeah, no, they're great. It's a great company. This keeps everything, ship shape.
Okay, so I'm feeling a little better about my purchase.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. Um,
So, which of you is the quarry, and which of you is the hunter?
I think Marisol is still the quarry.
all right, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I need these mermaids to like seduce me away from my straight laced life into the ocean. Okay, so let's see here. Um, let's see. So I think maybe we're like on the beach. Like I was just taking a little like the long way back to the ship, enjoying the sun myself.
Mhm.
Um, and I think maybe as you start to approach me, um, like, excuse me, please fill out this survey. Like, I am going to get really embarrassed and awkward and like scramble up a sandy incline. Like, I'm climbing some big sand dunes. Follow me if you want, but you have to throw a coin. On tails, the way up is tiring, and I'll gain a coin.
Sure, that works.
Have you got a coin?
I don't. Would you be able to roll it since you have one?
Sure. Heads. So
So
nobody
you
gains a
you are
coin.
yeah, you're able to follow me right up this sandy incline like it's nothing.
These arms are getting a workout. Be like, um, hi. So, hello. So I was just trying to contact you about the recent customer advocate that reached out to you, Moira, and we just had a few questions for you in regarding of her service. Were you able to get your service done satisfactory? Like,
I'll like shout over my shoulder and be like, Moira's a wonderful salesperson, very tenacious. I'm very busy. Sorry, I can't take the survey. Uh, and I am going to oh, I just saw it. Where did it go? Dive headfirst into a crowded street. Follow me if you want, but throw. On tails, the press of the crowd hampers you, and I'll gain a coin.
hmm, yeah, I'll do it.
Tails. Gain a coin.
Excellent. So it's a little hard for you to make your way through all of the people. Uh,
I don't necessarily
there
have
in the street.
legs, so that makes sense.
Yeah. And I'll just like call over my shoulder and be like, so sorry. As I try to like run away from you.
Marisol, we're trying to ask you questions. Can you slow down just a little bit? I'm getting sand in all of the wrong places.
Oh. See. Um, let's see. I think I am not paying a whole lot of attention as I try to run away, and I've become hopelessly lost in my haste, and I must take a moment to regain my bearings. So throw a coin, and on heads, you put on a burst of speed and catch up to me and gain 2 coins.
Okay.
Tails.
Ooh, okay, so you don't catch up.
I think I
Makes
go back
sense.
to
Mermaid on land.
yeah. I think I instead of trying to chase you on foot, I go back to your ship.
Oh, okay.
I'm fully waiting for you there.
All right. Let's see. I think I'm gonna choose another admission. So I catch my breath, I figure out where I am, and I start heading back. And I think that I kind of catch a glimpse of you in the distance waiting for me by the dock to my ship. And I decide to try to take a different path to avoid you, and it backfires, and I slip and tumble down a sandy dune. So you toss a coin, and on a heads, you keep your footing and you overtake me.
Yeah, I think that works.
Heads.
All right, yeah. So you're you see me tumbling down the dune. It's like ass over tea kettle here.
I think she actually catches you sort of before you hit some like your head or something on some rocks at the bottom.
Oh, love it.
Just kind of like,
Ooh.
Oh,
so
hello. Thank you.
yeah. Hi. Um, so was did you have any questions or concerns about Moira's service?
Um, uh, and I think I'm like really like flustered and red and like embarrassed as like sitting there like you holding me in your tentacles here so that I can't leave. And I'm just like, well, no, not about the surface. Well, I mean, it's kind of related. I had questions about eating the sea worms. Can I ask you that, or would that be rude?
No, no, no. You did have a small case of them. We probably will need to come back in a few months and do another service to make sure, from like the egg laying cycle and whatnot. You want to make sure that you do a couple of treatments to prevent them from coming back.
Right. Yes, of course. Very thorough. But my question more pertains to the dietary needs of your of cephalopodic mermaids. And is it true that eating the sea worms, like, is they're very toxic and poisonous to most species, even most species of mermaid. But is it true that it like gives you, if you eat enough of them, you get like a self-defense mechanism from that you can kind of pass that poison on to your prey?
Um, well, that is a very interesting uh perspective on that. Um if you would like, I'd be more than happy to give you directions on where to go, and you can ask Moira that if you wish. I personally don't eat them, but it is a dietary delicacy for some of us for sure, especially around holidays. Those are always fun.
So it's not like a universal thing then?
Oh, no, 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 no. It depends on, where you're located at and also kind of like what job you have or magic, it's it be specialized or unique.
Oh, that's fascinating. And I'm gonna like take out a journal and start like jotting down notes like furiously.
So while I was waiting for you, I did notice that your normal size ship hasn't been serviced recently. and you may need to go ahead and have that looked at. Would you like us to service that one?
Um, and then I like take a deep breath, and I think I like am clearly reciting something that was told to me to repeat if this situation ever happened again. And I'm just like, thank you very much for your offer. Such offers of service and things must go through proper channels. If you would like to make a business proposal to the Republican Navy, you are more than welcome to. You'll want to contact this person at this office headquarters, and their
Oh,
contract will need to be formally drawn up, and they can discuss that. I'm afraid I have no authority whatsoever to make those decisions.
well, technically you do because it is your ship.
It's not my
Also,
ship.
I may or may not have already met with him. You see, you would be a return customer, and with a return customer, there is a 15% discount.
I'm terribly sorry. I have no authority to make such decisions. It is not my ship. I'm not the captain. I'm not even the second officer. Um, I'm afraid that you'd really need to go through. If you've already spoken to that person, then you would have a contract, and you would be able to follow the lines of the contract at the proper service stations.
Oh, but we're the proper service stations.
I could put you in contact with the captain, but I'm afraid that I have no authority whatsoever to negotiate. And then like my voice drops, and I like lean in a little conspiratorially. Like, I got in trouble for doing the contract the first time, even if it was just on the dinghy. Like, I can't I can't again. I could get into a lot of trouble.
I see, I see. You know what we could do is if you want to go ahead and be hired on as a subcontractor, then you would go ahead and get 50% off.
I'm afraid I have a non-compete clause with the Navy. It's my career, but it's a very tempting offer. I'm sure you're absolutely delightful to work with. You and Moira both.
And Amira's face kind of drops and is like, the Navy actually cleans the bottom of your hulls?
Yes, perhaps not as often or as thoroughly as needed or desired, but yes, they do occasionally when we're in the right location.
Isn't that technically a huge expense?
Um, I'm
I
afraid of
mean, you
no
would have to
idea,
hire
but
you would have to service how many vessels? And then there's that many vessels within the Republican Navy. And then, of course, you have weather depending and certain seasons of the year, which would go ahead and definitely make that to where you need more service during certain times. I don't believe the Navy is currently doing that.
um, like
Are you trying to close door me?
I'm afraid I don't know what that means. Um, but really, you'd have to get. There are contracts, there are rules, there are laws. Um, I'm afraid it's all quite far above my pay grade.
Why did you sign on this one? And Amira will kind of like hold up the one that Moira had.
I was quite overtaken. Does the dinghy need service again? Perhaps you could inspect the dinghy, and I could pay you for that service. But I cannot do anything with the actual ship. You see.
You humans are so confusing sometimes. You say yes when you really mean no, and no when you really mean yes.
Yes, I'm sorry. I think like I'm trying to like Marisol is trying to like offer you like a consolation prize basically because she can't give you what you want, so she's trying to be like, I'll pay you to do the dinghy.
The Dini I have no permission to do, which to Mira doesn't make sense. Yeah, I think Namira just kind of like sits up a little bit and like make sure that um your Marisol is propped upright from, the tumble in the sand, but kind of
Mhm.
like lets go per se, and it's just like, so how many stars would you give Moira for her service?
What is the maximum number?
5.
Then 5, yes.
5 shells. Okay. Um well, yeah, I guess that is the end of it, and thank you very much.
You're welcome. I'm sorry I couldn't give you more. Do you have a survey? Should I take a survey for you? I would happily give you 5 clams as well.
She kind of smiles and is like, "No, I don't have a survey. Thank you," and just like poofs back into the water and is gone.
I think Marisol like stumbles a little bit when you're like suddenly gone, but like doesn't fall or anything. It's like, wow, wow, wow. Like days like state just like wander back up the gangplank onto my ship.
Like I go back to Moira and just tell Moira that she was good and everything else, and the customer gave 5 shells, or 5 clams or whatever it is. Uh, Kind of leaves out the rest of it.
Aw.
Doesn't want to make Moira sad.
Let's see. So I guess I'll pick one now.
Mm-hmm.
See. Ooh, that's a spicy one. Um, let's do Breaking Bread.
All
Um,
right.
and let's all play. Let's all three do this one. So we're somewhere where we're eating together, which we've established that mermaids think it's weird that humans cook their food. Um, why would we all be eating together? What do you guys think?
Maybe you were having a picnic on the shore and Moira and Namira just showed up like, "Hello, recognize you. You
All
look
right.
lonely."
And I would be terribly rude of me to like not invite you to sit down and eat with me. So yeah, and I definitely do. Maybe it's like I have like a little bit of shore leave, so I'm like actually trying to do something other than just like reading a book. I like that. Okay. So what do we notice about each other? What have we heard?
I think you've noticed.
You notice about. Oh, go
Go ahead.
ahead.
You go first.
You know. Ah.
Go ahead, Will.
Okay. You notice about Moira that her hair is now up, um, and braided back, and out of her face. Also, that she is a little pink. Like maybe she's blushing a little bit. Maybe she's just sunburned.
Okay.
Probably notice of Namira that she has taken your basket or like something that's a little large and like concaved a little bit and kind of like dug a little spot in the sand so the water pools in it so it's nice and moist for her to kind of lounge in, and that's where she's sitting.
Oh, it's cute. I like that. Um, I think you notice that Marisol has like if she takes the food out, I think you can tell that like this is not just the standard array of human food. Um, I think there's like ceviche, so it's raw fish, which would be like appealing and appetizing to the mermaids, I think. Um, as well as um just like a couple of other like finger foods or like a drink that the mermaids would like maybe it's like rose lemonade or something. It's like clearly like as if I like went and looked in a book and like drew up a list of foods that like humans and mermaids could share, and like that's the meal that I had planned for myself alone.
Oh, that's so sweet. Um, Marisol claps her hands in delight when you take out the raw fish. What have you heard? You have heard that there is a mermaid turf war going on not far
Ooh.
from where you first met Moira.
Okay. I think you've both heard that there's some human going around asking lots of questions about mermaids, and specifically cephalopodal mermaids, like in the tone of like, oh, like, haha, this cute, adorable, geeky human is just so interested in mermaids. And I think you can easily like tell that it's Marisol who's been doing now that you see like the
Mhm.
spread she has.
Go on, Moira. Talk to her. She brought snacks.
What have we heard about Nymeria?
Um, has continued to to sell warranties, and supposedly, I think Marisol would probably know that Namira has a luncheon planned with essentially the person in charge that would be able to secure the contract.
Ooh, nice. She's got her sights set on big fish here.
Exactly.
Mhm.
All right. I hope
So,
this is appealing, appetizing to you.
oh yes, you're s- you're so sweet. Have you been asking lots of people about us?
And Marisol like flushes crimson. It's like, well, a little bit. I hope I haven't been rude or intrusive. I've just. It's very fascinating to learn about different people and cultures.
I should ask about your culture.
Uh, sure, of course. I'd be happy to answer to the best of my abilities.
How do you get to be a captain?
Um, as in a captain of a ship in the navy. Um,
Yes.
well, there it takes some time. You have to have a good bit of experience and a good track record in the military. You it helps, of course, to have good connections to make it known that you wish to be a captain someday, that you wish to work towards that goal. Not that you think you inherently deserve it, of course, because we frown upon that, but more that it's a goal and you want to do the work of getting there. So that people will consider you when the time is appropriate. Um, so yes, I
Nod,
suppose.
nod.
I'm sorry.
I'm indicating Moira nodded.
Okay. Yes. So I suppose time, experience, and hard work, and some networking. Of course, there's always networking.
Networking. I hate networking. Namira does all my networking.
Oh,
Namira just kind of nods as she grabs one of the things of food or something.
Wow. Let's see. That's wow. I suppose it's very it might be difficult in your line of work to not like networking? Or do you always work as a
It's
team?
not always, but often. I'm very lucky I met Namira at at the festival when we were both just deciding what to do. Namira's made the hull warranty business much bigger. It used to be just a sideline, and it's uh now it's enough for two people to work on it full time
Oh, it's just the two of you.
so far. If we get a big contract, it'll be more of us.
That's very impressive. I How is your contract going? Your negotiations going, Nymera? I heard that you are following up on that contact. Michelle?
Did Nichelle?
Yes.
Yeah. I was asking Nymera, like, how's the contract going?
Oh, it's you know, these seafaring men really like to you know, they're worse than clownfish and pearls.
Oh. And I think like it's very clear that Marisol has no idea what that means. Um, uh
He
More
he
ceviche?
just I think it's more like and Nabira's like, right. You don't understand that phrasing. Um so um I'm pretty sure that he's flirting with me and only wants to really with me because I'm pretty to look at, but also really doesn't want to give us our usual standard contract. So don't worry, I'm working the krill with him.
Is it a problem that people want to flirt with you because you're really pretty? And Marisol's like takes a big swig of like lemonade and like doesn't look at her directly.
I think Namira
Moira covers her face and giggles.
I think Namira is kind of like playing with her nails or something a little bit and then does like a little hair flick. Like, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's totally fine. It's just, if I want to get business done, I want to get business done. It's really distracting, you know? But I mean, it's okay in a sense. I mean, he's being pretty kind about it. Don't worry, we're gonna get our usual contract or more, Moira.
I trust you.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's good. You're both very um tenacious, very focused, hardworking. I have faith in you. Um,
What made you go in the military, Marisol?
the ocean is so vast, and
Hmm.
so little of it is actually charted, which is so odd when you think about the fact that there's it's a mostly ocean world. There isn't much else here. I mean, there's some land, yes, but it's all pretty small, and it's just fascinating. And I don't know. I suppose it was a bit of a romantic fancy as a child that I would go out and see the world and experience what it had to offer and have thrilling adventures and see things that no one else has ever seen before. And it turns out that the world is mostly just ocean. And from the surface, it all looks more or less the same.
Out
We
of
should show you
character.
under the surface sometime.
Yeah.
What was that, Namira?
Out of character, what position does Marisol hold on the ship?
Mm, Not very high. Like she's an officer, but like probably gets stuck with like the crappy shifts. Like she probably has to be on duty like in the middle of the night.
Mhm.
Um, I'm not really sure. I haven't really thought about it beyond that. I don't really know what kind
Okay.
of positions there are.
I think Namira will kind of be like, well, then why didn't you become a science officer? Every ship has one. And
Oh,
also, they're very similar to like a navigator, but they're a person who mostly just journals and researches and, you know,
I didn't score quite high enough on my tests when I first joined. I was right on the cusp of that, but more people want to be science officers than there are positions for science officers. So I just didn't quite make the cut, unfortunately.
oh,
Maybe you can retake the test later.
Um, it requires certain kind of training, and I'm afraid that the Navy now considers me a little bit too old to redo that much training since it's not like a related job.
Oh, that's
oh,
a shame.
Right.
it
I
really
mostly
is.
just do communications and sit at the radio and listen to static.
You know, Moira, instead of perhaps adding the krill on top of our usual contract, what do you think about me seeing if I can get our friend here as a personal liaison?
Ooh,
Like,
that would be fun.
oh wow, wow,
I
wow.
mean,
Do you think I don't know if I'm qualified for that, but that's so generous and kind of you.
you would have to work for it, so that means you're gonna have to clean halls, just like the rest of us.
Right.
But you would
Okay.
be able to see more like underwater and things, and we could take you as a liaison from the Navy, to like some of our villages and whatnot. And yeah,
I'd be able to see mermaid villages?
Yeah.
Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. That's wow. I think Marisol's like extremely flustered and is like just like excitedly like her hands are moving. She gets up and starts like pacing back and forth. She says, "Wow, wow. You would do that for me?"
Moira looks at Namira and nods, and then makes little go get it gestures.
I think Namira kind of gives like a knowing nod of like, yeah, uh Marisol may think we're doing this for her, but we technically benefit a lot because of the Navy contract, sort of a deal. So
Mhm.
I think Namira just kind of nods back and is like, "Of course, a toast to potential new partnerships."
Yes, indeed, a toast. I'm like a little too eager with it here. But that's so kind of you. Thank you. Yeah. It seems like a good place to end this scene.
I think so.
Yeah, a good scene.
Right. Why don't you guys choose one together, the two of you?
Hmm.
What do you think, Maris? Moria.
What about a dance?
Oh, is that like a certain festival, or is it more of like just like a Friday night kind of a dance thing, or like what are you thinking?
Let's say it's a festival to celebrate signing the contract
Okay.
because both villages are really excited to have steady work that
Mhm.
uh, will let them expand and invest in their villages and invest in things you can only get from land people, like metal knives.
also cleaner oceans, which is good for us because there's less more
Mm-hmm.
infested hulls wandering around. I like it. I like it. Do
What
you
do we
think
notice
that?
about each other?
Oh, go ahead.
Uh-huh.
I was going to ask, do you think that Kraken possibly is involved in having this celebration?
Oh, I'm imagining Kraken filling up an entire half the village square. Just, just, just by themselves.
Or maybe they don't like they're not there, but like during the dance, we go off to like offer a prayer of thanks or something
Ooh, that's better.
to
Yeah.
like this abyssal pit that we know Kraken like is in. Like you never really see like more than an aspect of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'm guessing that there's some sort of magic or something we can do to Marisol to let her go ahead and like breathe down here.
Yeah. Um,
It involves
explicitly in
using seaweed.
and when you feel like you have to go out of the water because then it will have passed through your body. What do we notice about each other? I think you notice that Moira is dressed in strings of gold as well as her usual um, cover up.
Hmm.
She's got little gold chains and some pearls.
Like that. I think Namira is I don't think Namira really wears clothing at all.
Mm-hmm.
Um I think she's one of those that doesn't really change depending on like who they've interacted with. Um but for this, I think that she has a special like headpiece um that has like flower or fire coral blooms that are kind of like set into it. So it's essentially a living crown or something like that, full of this fiery um, coral and seaweed and life, essentially. Um, and I think that's the kind of like the only adornment that she has on during the dance for the festival.
Okay. What about Marisol? What did she wear to go underwater?
Oh, I didn't think I was going to be in the scene. I thought you guys were just doing a scene with the two of you.
Well, the context makes it make sense for you to come down. Or maybe this is um before we go and tell Marisol there's a big party at the villages.
That could be. That could be.
Yeah, why don't you guys do a scene with the two of you? Since I've been in every
Okay.
scene so far, so
Okay. Which is the worst dancer?
Amira.
Okay. Can't be good at
I think
everything, I
she's like
guess.
I think she's conversationally savvy and whatnot, but when it comes to like this type of social situation, I don't think she's that great at dancing.
Okay. Um where are we dancing? We're dancing at a festival somewhere between the two villages, a usual dancing ground. How's
I
that
think
sound?
so. I think so.
Um, what have we heard? Uh, you've heard that Moira has been praying to Kraken a lot.
Say that again.
You've heard that Moira has been praying to Kraken a lot.
Okay.
Moira heard about Namira.
Um, he was trying to give dancing lessons to Minnow
Oh,
and ended up really being like Minnow teaching Namira how to dance.
okay. The worst dancer starts. Take turns asking questions. After you've each asked 2 questions, the dance ends. So we
What?
established that the worst dancer was Namira.
Mm-hmm. I get to ask a question. Oh my gosh. I think that Namira has a probably a more personal connection with Kraken.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that Namira is going to ask what Moira was praying about.
For your
Or
success.
essentially or essentially like asking of like, is it a good thing or something like that? And it doesn't need like a direct answer. Don't think either.
I think Moira says, I was praying for your success. But the questions, there's a list of questions under ending the game.
I must not
They're
must have
very gay.
seen that. Sorry.
No worries.
Page 14,
15.
15. Okay. Why my success and not ours?
Well, that's your part. You were the one doing it.
We both do this work.
And it's a success for the whole village. Our success.
True. Do you like Marisol?
Oh, yes. She's cute.
Potential mate?
Moira flushes bright red with orange rings. It's too early to think about that.
I think Namira does a twirl or something with Moira and just kind of giggles a little bit. Of course, of course. These things take time. But you wouldn't be opposed to it, would you?
No. What about you?
What about me?
You wouldn't be opposed.
To you being mates? No, of course not.
You won't drift away?
No,
You don't
no
drift
matter what
away.
the tide brings, I don't think we ever could. Our islands are too close.
Moira smiles really big and looks like she might cry.
Now, come, you need to help me figure out which one of these doesn't want to be my mate, because that will be the person I will dance with all night.
I think Silver Dawning is still longing for his mate back on land.
Mm. And that will be the one that Namira dances with. Which probably pains every available mermaid present. But Namira doesn't care.
All right.
Shall we bring in Marisol?
Yeah.
Do you want to do a new scene, or
I just had a random idea. I could totally just kidnap Marisol off the ship, just jump over, grab, and go.
oh my god, I like that. That's fun. Let's do it. That's dramatic. That's a statement.
It's just essentially like maybe Marisol is on the ship, or like maybe on the dinghy. That could be another thing. Just out like chilling, fishing alone, having some peaceful time, and then Namira just comes out of freaking nowhere.
I like the
Grab
idea
her
that it's
and
like nighttime and I'm on duty, so I'm just like walking across the deck, like
yes.
nodding to like the couple sailors who are like stuck working the night shift. And you just
Yep.
like pop up on board, grab me, and pop off, and I'm just like, eh! It's like a little
I
strangled
think if
scream.
I think one tentacle, like the last one, just kind of like slaps a seaweed sign. Be back later.
God, that's so funny.
Slaps it where you were standing or something like that on the railing.
Excellent.
And
It's
just
so
hand you seaweed, and it's like, eat this, you'll be able to breathe. We're almost there to the party. I hope you're dressed for the occasion.
definitely not. I'm just wearing like my normal uniform. And I'll
Uniforms are
like
always not the fault of the wearer,
and I
and
like
therefore polite.
yeah, it's fine, you know. But I like shove seaweed into my mouth. I'm like big panicked eyes kind of thing. But I like take a hesitant breath after I've chewed it. And I'm like, okay, okay, okay.
That will
Uh,
only last till dawn. At that point, you become a landlubber again.
I'm just like, unhand me, return me to my ship. How dare you? I thought we were friends. You kidnapped an officer of the Republican Navy. Do you know what will happen to you? Like, definitely taking this like the worst way possible.
And I think at that point, like you start hearing the music and everything as we get closer to the village, and then like Namira drops you down in front of Moira and is like, technically we signed contracts earlier, so you're our liaison. So They won't miss you that much.
I It happens. You have to return me. You've kidnapped me.
Oh no! Moira looks appalled. Namira!
I didn't. I left a sign. And I figured there was no other way that she could get down here. So, there we are. Celebrate, party, dance, eat, gyrate. I don't know what you humans do.
We do
We
all of
got the
those things.
contract.
You got the
We already signed it.
Well, congratulations. I suppose I should be here at your party, but you know there are protocols. There's an order to these things.
Not on our side. Maybe when you're in the Navy, but as a liaison, now you do things the way we do it.
I'm not sure you understand the role of a liaison. I'm
Isn't
not
it to
your
go between? Come between.
Yes. Yes, but I'm not at your beck and call. I don't just obey you without reserve. I also still have a duty to the Navy.
Tonight, forget about it.
Yeah, as long
And
as you
Moira
don't turn
holds
to
out her hand.
piracy, I think that's pretty much the only breach of contract for you. I have it all right here, and you can read it all later.
Right,
And as
but
Moira said,
you
forget
do
about it tonight.
you do understand I also have a contract with the Navy.
And I think Namira just kind of like pushes the shoulders of Moira and Marisol closer together, just like you two go have fun.
You'll come have
Explore.
too, right?
Yeah. I'll keep him preoccupied. Don't worry about it. Oh,
Um, I think because it is dramatically great. I think as Zymira like pushes Marisol and Moira towards each other, I think the band starts playing like a slow song. So now we have to dance.
Moira grabs you in classic waltz position.
Uh, like I will just like return that because clearly I know how to waltz. I'm a naval officer. Of course I know how to waltz.
I bet you're not. I bet you are the worst dancer underwater, though.
Oh god, yeah, totally. So I think I am unused to dancing in this domain. Do you guide me through the steps with disdain or generosity?
General, but a little bit of laughter.
I think I'm a little self-conscious, but eventually I like relax a little bit and like laugh at myself and the silly mistakes I make. It's like, well, this is very similar to a normal human waltz, but it is just a little bit different. I suppose it is different when you have 8 feet instead of 2.
And Moira spreads her feet out to demonstrate just how many there are of them and drops them back in so that you spin me until I'm dizzy. Do you help steady me or let me stumble?
I will help steady you for sure. I will like put an arm around your waist and like pull you in a little bit. Okay, okay. Sorry, that might have been a little too much. Physics works a little differently underwater. You all right?
Yes, I am just fine.
Good. Right. Okay. Well, congratulations. Um, I'm very happy for the two of you and your contract and for our opportunities to work together.
Yes.
um, see. So I think then the music stops. Do you stay by my side a while or do you rush away?
Stay by your side and start introducing you to people.
Uh, I think Marisol is actually really good at remembering people's names and making small talk, even though these are mermaids and not, the humans she's used to dealing with. I think she's like surprisingly good at it. And you're like, oh right, I guess you do kind of have to be good at like making people like, feel appreciated and seen and heard and stuff and like keeping up morale.
Mhm.
Like I'm surprisingly good at that part. And I look not quite like smooth, but like comfortable, I think maybe for the first time since like we've started conversing. Like, oh, okay, I know how to do
Oh,
this.
wow. I introduce you to Casey. Um, I reckon Casey is, like, deeply suspicious of you.
And Casey's a kid, right?
Right.
Yeah. I think that like I like play like get playful with Casey. Um and like in a way to make them feel like comfortable and like start to like win them over. Like, like make some self-deprecating jokes, like ask them questions, be interested in what they have to say, like make them feel comfortable around me.
That's so nice. Do you dance with them when the, music starts again?
I think I'll kind of like feel it out, see how they feel about dancing in general. Um and if she likes to dance, then yeah, like I'll like very very formally be like, "May I have this dance?" Kind of like not in a mocking way, but like in a I'm clearly being a little bit silly kind of way.
Mm. And a yes, and a dance, and a lock of hair has fallen out of place. Do you fix it?
I think like maybe we have another dance, one of those dances where you're like dancing within like a line dance where there's like a lot of people and you're not just dancing with one exclusive partner, like, you
Mhm.
know, one of those Regency dances. Um and I like as we're like going back and forth and turning and spinning and passing partners, I like keep looking at you. And I keep
Moira
like
keeps
staring at
looking
your
back.
face. Yeah. And I think at the end, after we feel like the dance finishes and we all like bow to our partners, um, I'll like step a little closer and be like, "I'm sorry, I just," and I'll reach out and like gently like tuck the hair back into a braid. There, sorry,
Aw.
and then I'll like blush about it. Sorry, it's just, um, sorry. I hope you don't mind.
Not at all. Thank you. It was beginning to tickle.
I'm glad you don't mind. I'm impressed you've managed to keep your hair in such pristine condition so far. I imagine it's difficult with the currents. God, no, I can't imagine what mine looks like.
Yours looks fine. And Moira reaches out and touches it,
Oh,
and fixes a little stray away.
I think I like blush even harder than before. Thank you. That's very kind of you. I suppose I'll have to look into how humans generally take care of such matters underwater, because it seems as though I'm going to be here in the ocean quite a lot with you.
We have to show you our procedures so you
Of
can
course,
ensure that they are contract appropriate.
of course, of course. Um, I'm happy to learn, happy to help, happy to be here.
Do Nemira and Marisol dance?
Yeah, I think probably at one point, like Marisol would want to dance with Namira as well, and I think probably Namira looks very graceful in comparison.
Been getting lessons from Minnow.
Oh well, they're quite good, and yeah, maybe I should take some lessons from Minnow.
Minnow is very much mimicking Marisol from the side.
Oh, I think Marisol's a good sport about it and like laughs. Like after the dance comes up and says, "You're quite good at impressions."
Hmm. They've mimicked a shark before. That was fun.
Oh wow, I'd love to see that. Yeah, and I just like concentrate on like also trying to be friends with Minnow and making them feel comfortable. And like even though I'm the silly human, like I've got a good sense of humor about it.
Yeah.
I think it's a yeah, a good party through and through.
I think Namira will ask one question. Being really good friends with Moira, being like, it's like Moira's probably dancing with like one of the younger kids or something, and maybe there's some giggling or something happening. And Namira will notice that Marisol is like looking over at them, uh, at that little scene, and is like, "So you're not mated with any human, right?"
Like all like flush. Be like, I'm not quite certain how you're using the word mated. It has a few different definitions. But I am not engaged or married or otherwise romantically involved with anyone. No. It's a bit difficult when you spend most of your time at sea.
Do you like Moira?
I think it's like even deeper flush. And like I will take like a big like bite out of something that I've been eating to like so I don't have to answer directly. Like, you're both very delightful and kind and welcoming and fascinating and a treat to look upon.
I didn't ask about me. I asked about Moira.
All of those things are true about Moira.
Would you want to be mates with Moira?
Um, um, why do you ask? Does she want to be mates with me?
Oh, she's definitely interested.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
In a human?
Why not?
Oh, I mean, mermaids are all such beautiful, ethereal, magical creatures. Why would any of you be interested in just a boring, mundane human?
Each have their qualities. And you
um,
are a rather dashing human.
oh, well, thank you. That's very kind of you. I attempt to, do like look down at my uniform, be like, well, I hope it recovers from the salt water well. But I try my best. But
Why I don't
I
wear clothes.
I've
Makes it so much
noticed.
easier not to worry about that.
I have noticed. I
Uh-huh.
have definitely noticed.
I know it makes everything so much easier.
Um, yes, certain things, doubtlessly. Well, if I am, shall we say, I am interested in entertaining the idea of
Well, good.
being mates.
But I will go ahead and warn you, if you ever do anything to harm Moira, I will feed you to Kraken myself.
Oh, well, let me assure you, I would never intentionally try to harm Moira or you or anyone else I cared about.
Glad we had this discussion.
Indeed, indeed. So how am I getting back to my ship?
I mean, you'll bob up like a cork here in about 2 hours or so.
Oh,
I guess you'll have to
wonderful.
swim back. Not
And
that far.
I'll be able to breathe as I go up?
I mean, it's a pretty fast trip.
Right, I suppose we're not at crushing depths or anything, and I am a strong swimmer.
It's not, I mean, you have a few leagues to go, but I mean, that's not that far.
Right, that's quite far for a human. Uh,
Oh,
we're not as powerful a swimmer as you. Our hands aren't even
Moira.
webbed. Haha. And I'll like hold up my hands.
I think Namira will call over Moira. Moira,
Yeah?
um, so Marisol's gonna bob up like a cork in about 2 hours, but evidently it's still pretty far out. Do you mind swimming her home?
Not at all.
Well, there you go, Marisol. All taken care of.
Wonderful.
Moira gives Amira the two fingers pointing at my eyes, two fingers pointing at you gesture.
Got my eye on you. Um,
Yes.
Yep.
I'm sorry, you broke up there. Can you repeat that?
Thing.
oh, what did you say, Will?
I said mer. Can we do a roll call just to make sure everyone's still here? Will here.
I'm here as well. Stephanie's here.
Oh,
Mhm.
Yeah, and I heard the shell. So I think it was just maybe like
Here.
okay.
little issues with the voice.
Okay.
Is like we're getting it because sometimes it clips you off. Will is what's happening, and so we only hear like part of what you're saying.
Oh.
I I think Discord just had a moment there too, but I can hear you both clearly now.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
sometimes Discord doesn't do well with like short vocalizations. Like if you just make like a single sound or a single syllable, it doesn't always do great with that. Um, but right. So I feel like this is a good spot to end the dance scene, and maybe we'll do a different one.
Yeah, sounds good.
Sounds
So
good.
maybe like as the party like winds down a little bit. I like I like Michelle's suggestion that we do a round of truth or dare.
Hmm.
I think that sounds fun. Um, so everybody plays. We're gathered somewhere in the night, and we're all well satiated after a meal. Um, so what do we notice about each other? What have we heard? Where are we? How did we come to be here? So I guess we're still kind of like at the party grounds, maybe, but like somewhere away from all the main action as things start winding down.
I think it would be
Yeah.
good. It's like coming up at the closing mark of that 2 hour marker kind of a deal. I like that.
Yeah, I think maybe a little bit before that because I think that like Marisol is a little worried and would like want to start towards home when there's still like an hour left, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe I've
So,
got like an hour before we gotta get out of here kind of thing.
all right. Um. Uh. You notice that some of Moira's chains have gotten tangled with each other, and that she doesn't appear to care.
I think you guys both noticed that Marisol is like kind of hovering pretty close to Moira, like closer than she has before. Just seems kind of like glued to being close to her.
Okay. Excuse me. Do we notice anything about Namira?
Uh, I think she appears to be her usual chipper self and probably a little bit more not necessarily like standoffish, but definitely making sure that like Marisol and Moira have space to like be together.
Aw. Uh,
Essentially like being the parental figure for like the kids and whatnot. So like Moira has a little bit of free reign to interact privately if she wishes.
Nice. I think you've
Oh,
all heard from various party guests that all the mermaids are impressed with Marisol. Like, oh, she's so charming. She's so adorable. Like, I'm like a favorite like a precocious child or like a favorite like pet that you've like brought to the party and everyone's delighted by it.
um, I think you've heard that Moira has been involved in some of the skirmishes um from the turf war.
Mhm. And what have we heard about Namira?
Um, these is still going to be the hardest thing I'm going to struggle with is trying to figure out stuff about my character in this game. Um, I'm so sorry. Can you repeat the question?
What have we heard about Namira?
Let's see. Um, I think she has her eyes set on perhaps like an even bigger contract or something already. Like even though this one like
Hmm.
just got signed, she's already discussing with some of the, elders and whatnot on some potential expansions for continuing that and, like setting some steps in place for like um meeting with the elders and figuring out like what they think are like the best steps in expansion as well as stability for the villages and such with this contract.
Nice. Okay. Um, so we go around the table and choose another character to ask truth or dare. Choose freely from the list below or make up your own. No player may be targeted more than twice in the same round, nor may the same dare or question be made more than once in a round. The player who picked the game begins. And if someone refuses to answer or perform their dare, they're out of the game. You can lie, but it's the spirit of the game is to tell the truth. But if it's like obvious that someone is lying and they get called out on it, they are out.
No dares should be lethal, though they may be humiliating or cause mild to moderate discomfort.
Okay. So, Michelle, you suggested this game, so you get to start.
Woo! Okay. I think the first question she's gonna ask is asking Marisol of like, have you ever been pierced, like your skin or something with a fishing hook?
I think
That's true.
Marisol, yeah, very readily agrees, and it's like, oh yes, of course. When I'm learning to fish as a child, quite often I was a bit clumsy. Um, yes, and I'll like show like a scar on like my thumb where like I like had like a line
Hmm.
where like the hook got in my skin and then like we didn't take it out quite right and it like ripped a big hole. Then there's like a little scar on my thumb now. Easy. All right. We're starting out easy. I like this. Good, 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 good. Um, Moira, truth or dare?
Truth.
Truth. Um, you were changed by wild magic. What would that change be?
Moira flushes deeply, um, and says, "I would become human."
Oh, human. Really? You'd give up all of this magnificent underwater beauty all around you and this incredible culture in your business and everything. Just be a mundane human.
It seems mundane to you, but it doesn't to me.
So much of the world is ocean, though.
I'm not saying it would be a good idea,
Oh,
Moira giggles.
oh, okay.
But it would be the change that would happen. Wild magic doesn't think sensibly. That's why it's wild.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yes. Your turn.
Namira, truth or dare?
Dare.
I would tell you to go swimming clad only in the moonlight, but you already are. And Moira sticks out her tongue. Show
Mirthel
us
I
the
think
giggles.
it's
old,
not much of a dare in my current state.
show us the oldest scar on your body.
Mm. And I think Namira will go ahead and kind of like gesture to like her sternum of like right beneath her left breast. There's a small little suction cup ring, I think.
Mm.
Mm.
This is from when I was a child. And I was blessed by the Kraken.
A blessing. And I think Marisol leans in like really close and like reaches out as if she's going to touch it and then like suddenly realizes what she's doing and like whips her hand back and blushes.
It's when I learned my calling.
How is such a thing a blessing? What happened?
We have a conversation every now and then.
Does it always leave
Kraken
you?
is
Does the Kraken always scar when speaking?
No, 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 no. It's very unusual. Most don't have a physical interaction, mostly prayers. Then you have a sense of it being answered or not.
the Kraken is very, very old and very powerful.
Hey.
Marisol,
Mhm.
dare.
I'll take a
Oh,
dare.
sorry, truth or dare.
Yeah, I'll take a dare.
Taste the lips of the one here you most desire, be they willing.
Oh, okay. Marisol, like,
Totally
flaming
not
red.
Nichelle out of character setting up these characters.
I mean, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. This is what I wanted. Yeah, Marisol like gets flaming red and like her eyes immediately go over to Moira, and then she like darts like her looks away again, like even more blushing. Um,
Moira
uh,
starts blushing too.
then Marisol takes a deep breath, and puts on the game face. She's gathering her courage. She turns to Moira and says, "The lips I most desire are yours, if you are willing."
I am willing. Then
And
they
then,
kiss.
yep. And Marisol, like, definitely, like, like draws it out a little bit for theatricality. Like she reaches out to Moira and like pulls her in and puts her arm around her and yeah, and then kisses her. And it's like a real kiss. Like it's not like a quick peck on the lips. It's not like making out, but like it's a kiss.
Moira is blushing very strongly.
I am going to guess that some of the children that probably snuck out late and stayed up, such as Casey, are making icky faces in the
Yep,
background somewhere.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. And then yeah, I think Marisol after the kiss she's also bright red, but she's grinning from like ear to ear. Says, I never back down from a challenge. And then we'll like let go of Moira with a little squeeze.
Moira giggles and floats upward a bit, and then has to pull herself down, and is just flushing and smiling.
Excellent. And Marisol will turn around to Namira and says, "Well, Namira, truth or dare?"
Truth.
Truth. Oh, all right. What does your heart most desire?
What does my heart most desire? To have a world that feels as loved as I feel in the sea.
Oh, that's so wholesome and beautiful.
Moira gives Namira a hug.
I read that in a book somewhere. I thought it was a nice little ringtone to it.
Marisol
Moira
laughs. Yeah.
Moira pinches Namira on the side and is like,
Ow.
"You are a silly person."
I may be a silly person, but I am a wonderful person.
I did not say you weren't.
And that's all that matters.
Be a truly wonderful person, you must be at least a little bit silly.
Moira giggles and flushes and scoots away from both of them a little bit and then does a little spin and scoots back. Um, I don't think she's drunk.
I think Marisol giggles and like she's definitely like I don't think she's drunk because like I think she finds it like weird and kind of hard to drink things while underwater. But I definitely think she's getting like the tired kind of like silly, which is a little bit like hard to tell apart from being drunk.
Yup.
And so I think she like takes Moira's like one of Moira's arms and like spins her again and then like spins her the other way like slowly. She's doing it real slowly but just like giggling while she does it.
All right, all right. Last one. Moira. Truth or dare?
Mm-hmm. Dare.
Stand up and sing the body a shanty, you know.
I think Moira knows a much bawdier shanty than Will knows. Um, and this is, I think, on the level of the Hedgehog song from Terry Pratchett, where it doesn't use any sex words. Oh, no, the Hedgehog song does use a sex word.
Gasp.
It only uses one, but it uses it a lot. But it's obviously about a human and a mermaid.
Ooh. I think partway through, like as soon as it like realized like what's going on, I think uh Marisol like grabs the nearest child and like covers their ears. It's like don't listen.
Not their eyes from the dancing mermaid. Okay.
Like don't listen to this song. Not for children.
The kid squirms out of your grip and is like, "I know this song." And by the end, I think Moira is singing with everyone else is singing along except Marisol, who doesn't know the words.
I think if it's like a chorus though, maybe she like joins in on like the final chorus.
All right.
Yeah, there's like a chorus part. I think she'll if everyone else is singing and she's kind of loopy and tired, I think she would sing the dirty chorus at the end with everyone.
And the hedgehog can never be buggered at all.
Hilarious. I love that. That is amazing. And I
Yep.
think she's like, wow, that's quite a song.
She said the bawdiest one I knew.
Yes, I can't believe all the children know it. Oh my goodness. But I suppose it
It's a
seems mermaids are a
pastime.
little less uptight about such things. So like kind of like look at Nymeria like naked swimming.
It's all part of life.
Indeed, indeed. Well,
Let's
it's
get you home.
all right. Yeah, it probably should. It would be a shame to drown now.
Yeah, you've got to write it all down.
Yes.
And Moira holds out her hand
And Marisol will take it.
and pulls Marisol in and starts swimming toward the surface and toward where they left Marisol's ship.
Excellent.
Where they left Marisol's ship. Sorry, I realized I moved away from my mic.
It's all good. Excellent. All right. So into that scene, I suppose.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think there's a good fade to black on that one.
Yeah. Um, let's see. Are we going to be able to take a break? Because we're scheduled to go till 3. I could use a little break if we're able to take one.
I think we can take a break. Let
Wait. I don't think that we can do the be right back. So for our listeners, just be aware of the audience. Um,
we will be right back.
yes.
See you in 5 or so. Okay, I'm back. Thank you. And we are back. I don't remember whose turn it was. I think we lost track of turn order a bit ago.
Yeah, I think it's my turn to choose a scene, I think. Because you guys chose the last couple.
Okay.
Uh I think let me just double check here, but I'm pretty sure I know the one that I want to do next. So yeah, I think let's do a tryst with Marisol and Moira as we swim away from the party back towards my ship. Since it's just the two of us.
Um, Let me find a tryst.
It's
Yes, let's
24
do
in
it.
the file.
Oh, I was going the wrong direction. Here we are. What do we
Okay.
notice about each other? What have we heard? Um, I think you notice the same thing you noticed before, only now it's that Moira, sorry, has actually taken off most of her chains and
Mm,
is left in just a sports bra like wrap.
okay. I think you notice that Marisol is holding on to Moira like a little more tightly than is really necessary for the swimming. Like she's like kind of like
Mhm.
snuggled in and is like got her arms wrapped around pretty well.
All right. Where are we? We are going home from the party, where home is Marisol's ship.
I
We
think we're
came to be
like out in the middle of
the
like the open ocean, like there's nothing around us kind of thing. Just a lot of like empty blue.
so we are not being secretive.
I mean, like, we kind of are, we kind of aren't. Like, there's nothing and nobody around. Um, but we're not like sneaking away. I mean, and everybody did see us kiss, so um right. So we converse freely, and at any point, a player may initiate an exchange by asking a question below. The other player concludes the exchange by using one of the responses. Return to conversing freely or continue to make exchanges. And it ends if another character interrupts the tryst, one party departs, or a curtain is drawn upon the proceedings. If you are being
if you are being
secretive and there's a chance you might be discovered, at any point another player may call for a coin flip. On tails, you're discovered and the tryst ends.
but we're not being secretive.
Really? No. um, let's see. Don't really I think that Marisol like starts to stroke like your hair. Is it up or is it down? Does it get loose or is it
It's
still the braids?
it started out the night up and is still mostly up, but parts of it are down.
Okay. I think Marisol like um takes one of her hands and just like starts like gently playing with the part that's down. And, like gets to a part where it's like braided or pinned or whatever, and she's like, "May I take your hair down?"
You may. Thank you. It's getting a little um there's a word for this. Headache inducing having it up so tight.
Right. Of course, I know what that's like. And I'll like gently like start separating the braids and like moving pins and stuff.
May I touch your hair?
Let's see. Looking over my response options here. Yeah, I'll just go with you may.
So Moira starts petting Marisol's hair, not trying to take it out of whatever updo it's in, just touching.
And when it's like obvious that Moria isn't going to take it down, I think I say, "Oh, let me actually," and like I'll real quickly like pull out the hair tie because I think it's like a very simple like just bun that's like held in place pretty easily. So I like reach back and like pull out the hair tie and just like this really long like head of hair just like trails out behind us as we swim. And then I go back to taking your hair down.
I think Moira um, runs her fingers through your hair. Uh,
Like,
and says, "Do you have friends on your ship?"
oh yes, of course. I get along well with most people. Um, I have a good relationship with my captain. I feel like I have friends amongst the officers. We're not incredibly close, but I think we'll get there. We just haven't worked together long enough to be incredibly close. But they're good people.
Good. I'm glad. I hope your being our liaison won't make it hard for you.
I don't think it will, as long as as long as Nymeria doesn't make a habit of just kidnapping me off my vessel. um, that could go poorly because I'm there because I'm needed, and if I'm not there when they need me, that could cause problems.
I'll
Um,
tell her. We'll
thank you.
make appointments.
Yes, yes, or just you can come and say hi or tell me what you need, of course, at any point. But I might not be able to immediately leave. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't.
Namira just gets excited.
Of course, it's very understandable. But I think Marisol gets a little shy and says, "But you don't need an appointment to just come talk to me."
Okay,
And I
then I'll
will,
just talk to you.
yes. And like I go to tangle our fingers together. May I?
You may. Um, and and Moira squeezes back, squeezes gently, and says, "I'm so glad I met you."
Me too. Um, I'm so glad that you're a far better swimmer than I am. Apparently, a dinghy sailor.
Not far better. You lost me once or twice.
Right.
Besides, dinghies are tricky.
Well, uh, let's just say that Kit was very much not impressed with my abilities to command a dinghy. I won't be a ship captain anytime soon. They were pretty good natured about it, though. Didn't tell the captain. Let me do it myself. So I appreciate that. But I'm I joined the Navy and left for a life of adventure. I said, I told you guys that, but
Mm-hmm.
I used to read a lot of stories as a child about, adventure on the high seas and such, and a lot of heroes and stories fall in love with mermaids. It's I dreamed about that, but I didn't think it would ever actually happen to me.
Moira is smiling fondly, um, and untangles your fingers to because she's only got one free hand.
Mhm.
Uh, to touch your lips. May I?
Get my hair. Um, let's see. You may, but first I want to kiss those fingers. Do you mind?
I don't mind. Moira
Yeah.
is smiling, looking a little, you know, hormone silly.
Adorable. Um, I think Marisol smiles too, and I think she's quiet for a little while. She like gazes up at Moira's face, and then says eventually, "So humans living with mermaids is a thing that happens,
Silver
right?
Dawning used to be a human.
So must humans become mermaids or mermaid-like in order to live with them?"
I don't know if it's a must. I know that he was drowning and we were in a hurry.
Right.
That was before I was very old.
Hmm. It's a very hard ask to ask someone to leave behind everything they know.
You could at the
Oops.
shore and I could come visit you.
Right, but would you want to have that half thing forever?
Sometimes half is all you get.
Oh, very sad. Mm.
Hug you. May I?
Sorry, you got cut off there. What would you like to do?
I hug you. May I?
Yes, and I think Marisol like immediately like leans into the hug and squeezes back.
We've got lots of time to figure things out.
I suppose that's true, although this mermaid war I've heard about is concerning, and you're
Yeah,
involved.
yes, it is concerning, and I
What's
am involved.
what's going on?
Some of the dolphin mers want some territory we've claimed, and we don't want to give it up.
Hmm. And negotiations are not an option at the moment, I take it?
They've broken down twice.
Oof. I don't know if it's stereotypical or not, but I know that dolphins tend to be somewhat of an aggressive species when they want something. Do mermaids carry on some of the traits of the animals that they resemble?
Stereotypes, but I don't know how accurate they are.
Mhm. Right. Well, I am concerned that you are involved in this war, but clearly, like as I'm a member of the Navy, war is a possibility. We're here not just to, gather resources and explore, we're also here to defend, to attack if need be. So, I'm not going to try and tell you not to do it or convince you of anything, but just know that I worry about you and want you to be safe.
I want you to be safe too.
Right. And Marisol leans in to kiss you. May I?
You may. And let's draw a curtain upon what follows.
Excellent. Yeah, I think that's a good point.
Oh, yeah.
Yay.
I like Izzy in the chat over here. Gay, 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 gay. Yes, very gay. We love it. Like, if you're raising money for Pride, you gotta be gay, y'all. And this is a charity stream, so you can donate money for Seattle Pride.
Who gave up on having Amazon as their sponsor because of Amazon's anti-queer behavior. And
This
go
is,
them, but now they need
yeah.
donations.
Now they need money. All right. Nichelle, do you want to pick the next seat?
Boy, I don't think I could top that at all.
Change the mood.
Change the mood? Mm. And we're coming up towards the end too. Ooh. Um
Time to dramatically raise the stakes.
yeah. I want to have a scene with Kraken, and I'll let somebody else play the how they interact in that scene.
Okay. I'll do it. I think that sounds fun.
All right.
I think Namira goes there for communion essentially after the party and everything's done.
Okay.
Uh, does Kraken reveal themselves?
Um, First, which of the like how do you want to frame this in the mechanics? Which
Oh,
remember what they're called? Which of the games do you want to do?
I think
You
it's
could
going
do
to be a
break.
duel.
A duel.
Oh.
Okay. I was hoping we'd get to do a duel. I'm excited. Yeah.
Don't think I'm necessarily dueling with Kraken, I think it's more of like a mental, like a philosophy duel,
Okay.
so to
No, I
speak.
like that. Yeah. Kraken doesn't just give like easy answers. Like you have to like like a
Exactly.
battle of wits with them to
Hmm.
get answers. I like that. Okay, excellent. So,
What do you
this
notice
can
about each other?
yeah, could you describe also the place where you go to meet with Kraken?
I think it's kind of like on the edge of a kelp forest. So, like in the deep center of this kelp forest, there's this
Mm.
opening maw that is essentially like a massive sinkhole. And most of the mermaids, we probably just like um interact mostly up on the top of the rim. And like if
Mm-hmm.
we give a prayer or like we have a sacrifice, like if we give anything with that prayer or that sacrifice or that honoring, whatever we do, it's always from the top usually.
Mhm.
Um, but I think Namira has a more personal connection, and so with that, I think she actually just kind of like floats down into the darkness.
Okay.
Oh.
So you're one of like the very few mermaids who like go down to meet the Kraken where the Kraken is.
Yeah, and I would probably say that she's probably the only one currently alive that has that sucker mark.
Okay, okay.
Going back to the scar from the Truth and Dare.
Excellent. I like this. Okay. So what do we notice about each other?
Namira's crown is gone again. She's not
Excellent.
wearing it anymore.
Um, I think when you go down towards this hole, like most of the time, it's kind of like a black void. You don't really like see anything ever, but you just kind of like sense a presence. You sense that something is there and
Mhm.
like listening. Um, but because I think it's dramatically fun, I think when you go down, you see like a shadow back in there, like that you don't normally see. It's like like a suggestion of something very large, like you just kind of see like a large curve, like a suggestion of like the mantle of the kraken, so like that, like the head, like the edge of it, and like kind of the suggestion of like an eyelid, which
Yeah.
is a difference. It's not normally, the kraken is not normally so present. So what have we heard? What have I heard about what Nightmare is doing? Or
I think Kraken knows exactly what's going on. I think Kraken knows everything already.
okay, excellent. And I think you've heard that the kraken is restless, which fits with like seeing the eye for the first time, or seeing like the head, the shape of the head.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um, I think I'm gonna have a leading question here.
Okay.
I think that sucker mark begins to um not quite burn, but feel like ice.
Okay.
Um, does Kraken capitalize on this weakness or have anything to say on this?
Like it burns like ice. Okay. As you get closer.
I would think so, yeah.
Okay. Um. Okay. I think that the kraken doesn't usually speak with words. I think you like feel it in your head
Hmm.
when it speaks. And I think you hear, "You are full of doubt, my child." It can
The waters are muddied. Question is, why do you muddy them?
water becomes muddy with movement. You must learn to navigate with more than just your eyes.
Yes, but movement usually means current. This is not caused by any current. This is not caused by action.
I grow impatient and restless, and a restless, pacing mind can cause muddy waters. You are not moving fast enough.
I think you lost patience.
My patience is huge. It is vast, as vast as the oceans. And yet you continue to try it. It is not endless, and I have waited very long. When will you uphold your end of this bargain, my child? I have blessed you, you carry my mark, and yet you make me wait so long.
But according to you, that same time is nothing but a blink of an eye. You forget, Kraken. Waters are different today, and you do not assist in muddying them.
Let's see.
You cause confusion. You.
Um,
But how can we look up to you when you are the cause of the change?
I think I'm gonna feign dropping my guard just for a moment.
Okay.
And I think what that looks like narratively is I think the Kraken takes the bait. It looks like it seems like the Kraken is gonna take your bait here of like the taunt and like trying to place blame and just be like basically pretending to get kind of angry and annoyed at you. Like, how dare you, like I am the Kraken, I am ageless, I am ancient, I am forever. Like, how dare you insult me? You are nothing. You are the blink of the eye.
Hmm.
Um, so do you basically trying to draw you into being a little more like aggressive and like acting as if you're gonna like fall for my trap here? So do you
Hmm.
take the do I draw you out or are you too wily to fall for the ruse?
I think I'm too wily, but I will say, like, during the conversation, like, there's almost like the water around her and like around her hair and things kind of get more icy or clouded as if the water itself is freezing.
Mhm. Is that
Um,
coming from Nymeria?
no, I think it's just part of their interactions.
Okay.
Like, I think that's probably just an aspect of the Kraken's power.
All right.
And I think that's part of the connection of their mark. Um, no, I think Namira just kind of floats there and is like, you
Kind of like
know,
oop,
the earth itself thunders in earthquakes. And after given enough time, they are nothing but a murmur.
hmm.
You've grown weak. You depend on me to do your bidding.
And Kraken laughs. And it's just like it's not like a mocking laugh, it's just like a kind of pleased, I think actually. It's like genuinely amused. You are always smarter than the others, Nymera. That's one of my favorite things about you, child, and why I chose you. Not so easily drawn in. Patience, patience, patience. The worst thing to practice and the most necessary. What do you do when waters are cloudy? Either you wait for them to clear, or you find another way to navigate.
I think this is where I'm going to be using the leading question of essentially what she's going to say next is going to find its mark. Um, does the close call exhilarate or chill you? And I think what she comments next is essentially of like, true, very true, but you won't be leading my people. You've trained me well.
I think I find it exhilarating. Is what I do.
Hmm.
Honestly, I'll say yes. I have. I have trained you well, and no, I will not be leading your people. I do not care to be involved in such daily trivialities. You are better suited to that than I am because I will think ahead for decades and eon, whereas you will think of dinner tonight. As is right, and you should. I would be a poor leader for such temporary mortal things. I desire to move on. I shall always be fond of you, my child, but I need you. to find a way for me to move to the next place.
To the next plane, to the next people to enslave.
Enslavement. It's a bargain, a deal, a trade off.
My old elders, ancestors did not know you for who I do.
Well, then they were easily manipulated, and you are not.
I think this is kind of, I think I'm going to go for a finisher.
Okay.
Um, I think I'm going to make a comment, but essentially of like, it's kind of a curse, to be chosen by the Kraken in this manner. And essentially, like, Namira will, um, I think, go to turn away and to leave. And I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. Um, probably not necessarily quit back, but kind of sort of in response to be like, yes, it is a bargain, and one I will pay dearly for. For you will be gone, but there will be a predator, a kraken left in your wake.
So which like finisher are you seeing that as?
I think I'm leaving that as I'll run you through, but I leave myself open for a return blow because essentially, to free her people, in a sense, she's going to become something similar.
Right. Okay. Excellent. Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely will seize the opportunity. I think here. Um, and I think the Kraken's eye opens and it's like this glowing orb that like nearly fills what you can see of the maw, like the open cave down there.
Yeah.
Um, and I think you like hear a voice for the first time instead of it being just like in your mind, like it's actually like the vibrations are like rippling through the water towards
Hmm.
you. And there's like a very bitter laugh. Um, and I think I'll say something to the effect of there are many, many squid in the ocean, but it's the one who eats the others who becomes the kraken. Like whet your appetite, basically saying like, yeah, if you want to be like me, you're going to have to become a monster too. Which I think of Nightmare as being someone being really kind who doesn't, want to hurt other
Hmm.
people. And so like that's kind of like the zinger there.
I think the mark, her old scar, gains almost a tendril of its own.
Ooh,
As essentially the scar grows or morphs due to this interaction, I think. It's a great way uh, to narrate or essentially to mark the passage of uh, that seized opportunity.
nice. I like it.
Yeah, I
Nice
think
and
that's a good
creepy. It's
one.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess that's the into that scene there.
Hmm.
All right. Anybody have any ideas for the next one?
I want to do a furtive discussion with Marisol.
Okay. That works for me. This one has like the loosest rules, I think. Yeah. Um All right. So, what do we notice about each other? What have we heard?
You notice that Moira is paler than usual.
Okay. Um, I think you noticed that Marisol's a little distracted. Like
You've
she,
heard. Okay.
yeah, like I think she's like kind of looking away a lot, and you have to like say her name and get her attention, or like repeat things to her. She's just like clearly not been fully present.
And you've heard that the mermaid war is getting worse.
And I think you've heard that there are rumblings of bad relationships between the Republic Navy and the group of I think they call themselves like the free merchants. It's just like a bunch of like cobbled together rafts and bits of ships and stuff where they've like made this like floating city, and like anyone can join. Like anyone can go and become a member of this, but you have to like renounce your citizenship to your original nation state kind of thing, and they're just kind of like don't
Ooh,
have a whole lot of
cool.
centralized role rules or anything. Like it's a bit anarchist, and so like sometimes it's really great and sometimes it's really awful to live there. And they always have like very mercurial kind of relationships with the other city states, and I think you've heard that they're like are getting bad with the Republic. Like, so a lot of people seem to think that it's only a matter of time before it erupts into war.
Woof. Um, what makes this conversation furtive? Are you in danger of being heard? If so, by whom? And where does this conversation take place? I was thinking that Moira had dragged herself up the side of the ship and was um leaning over the railing to talk to Marisol.
Okay, yeah, I like that. So like it's like maybe it's night because that's when I'm like on duty, and we're trying to
Mhm.
keep like the crew from overhearing because like I should really be like doing my responsibilities instead of like sitting here talking to my girlfriend. Yeah,
um,
like that.
I'm worried about Naimina. Did my mic catch that?
Yeah. Sorry, who worried about who? Sorry? Huh? That's
Hmm?
in character.
About Namira.
Oh,
Sh-
right, yeah. Sorry, what's she doing?
She's changed. She's strange. She's got a new tentacle.
Oh, a new tentacle. That's pretty fascinating, actually. I didn't know you could grow more.
We can't.
Oh, okay, yes. Oh, yes. That would be concerning. Yeah. Have you like asked her about it?
Afraid to. Everyone's just been pretending it didn't happen. But I think she went down to the Kraken.
The Kraken's real?
Yes, the Kraken's real.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, I don't know what the word means in your language. There's a real thing that we call Kraken.
Right. All right. And why is it's bad that she went to talk to this Kraken?
No, it shouldn't be bad. Kraken is a protector of our village. Kraken is teaching Namira magic. It should be fine.
But
But
it's clearly not.
she's strange.
Well,
More aggressive than usual.
I don't know what you want me to say, Moira. People change.
Not
So I say that again, you got cut off.
Not like this.
Well, yes, clearly like this if she's changed.
Ugh.
Yeah, I think we're getting a little heated at this point. So we should toss a coin.
Mhm.
And odd tales, some small detail about this conversation leaks out and can be used later.
Spinning. Tails.
Okay.
Ooh.
So I think maybe one of the small details that leaks out is that that the mermaids see the kraken as like a real like thing, an entity. I think maybe that's like debated whether it's just like a folklore or if it's like a being that they worship or whatever, but I think it leaks out that no, like the mermaid, at least some mermaids see it as like a real like thing, a real concrete entity.
Could definitely
Yep.
complicate things regarding the war.
Yeah.
No, listen. Uh, What if one of your friends went to a church and then came back all weird? You'd be worried.
Suppose it's true. I would be. Well, I think maybe you should talk to her about it. Like I know that it's hard and scary and you know that I know Namir is a bit stubborn. Trust oh yes, I know. He's a bit stubborn, but you're friends. If
You're
you
right.
just ask her what happened because you care about her and want to make sure she's okay, I'm sure she would talk to you.
You're right. It's just I don't know how to begin. Do
I
I
mean,
just go to her and say, "Hey, Namira, nice new tentacle. Where'd it come from?"
how about how are you? You've seemed stressed lately.
That's a much better way of doing it.
Well, yes, generally. Presenting you're here doing it because you care about her, not because you want to be nosy or scold her. You care about her. You're worried about her.
Yeah, thanks.
Of course.
And I think Moira pushes up and kisses Marisol.
I think Marisol like kisses back, but it does take a moment. She's like, "What? Oh, okay." Like she clearly wasn't expecting it. um, is that
I
all
think
you
that's
came
the
for?
scene.
Oh, I wanted to
Yeah.
keep going, push a little
Oh,
more.
okay.
Yeah,
Keep going.
yeah. I think Marisol's like, so is that all you came for then? Just to complain about your friends?
Well, I wanted to warn you in case she comes to see you because you're the liaison, and if she's weird, you should know it's not your fault that she's weird. She's just been weird.
Right, of course. Why would it ever be my fault if someone else was being weird?
I don't know.
Right. So there was nothing you wanted to ask me or hear me talk about or know about me or learn about me? You just came to talk about someone else?
Well, now I feel stupid.
I mean, is it crazy to want my supposed girlfriend to want to get to know me?
No, no, it's not. That's why I feel stupid.
Hmm.
But I would have come during the day for that because I wouldn't. I will come. When are you free tomorrow? Because you said you were working now.
Right, I don't know if I'm going to be free tomorrow, Moira. And I think I'm getting heated again.
Oh, and let's flip a coin.
Yee.
Our first little spat. I don't know how to feel about this.
Tails.
All right, so I think the little detail gets out is that maybe our relationship is not as secure as we said it was.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Well, I want to talk to you, but I don't want to sneak talk to you.
Look, I don't want to sneak either, but look, I don't know how to tell you this because I don't have like a reliable way of contacting you except when you just show up. Um, but we're getting moved. They're restationing us somewhere far away, closer to
Oh,
the free merchants. And I don't know exactly when we're leaving, but like it could be as
oh,
early as tomorrow. We're waiting to hear the exact time. They're moving a lot of the fleet around in preparation.
well, here. And Moira pulls out um a a shell on a chain, a very simple chain. And the shell has um what looks like paint on it, but only on half of it. It's not finished, but it should work.
What is it?
It's you know how if you put a shell to your ear, you can hear the ocean?
Right, it's really just the blood pumping through your ear, though.
Well, if you put this shell to your ear, you'll hear me and I'll hear you.
Oh,
I wanted to make it pretty, but if you're moving tomorrow, then it'll just have to do.
right. But it works?
Try it.
I'll like put it up to my ear and be like, hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you twice, Moira whispers, and you can hear her perfectly clearly in the shell.
That's is this magical?
Of course.
Oh dear. I could get in a lot of trouble for having this, Moira. Like the Navy frowns upon magic
Why?
because it's not orderly and it doesn't follow prescribed rules and it's chaotic
Oh,
and unpredictable. And the pirates use it and they burn their ships down all the time.
they do that, but I think that's fighting.
Yes, sometimes fighting magically.
Oh, we're not good at magic fighting in in where I come from. But
I'm already kind of being given side eye for dating a mermaid. So some the captain said something the other day that made it seem like my future with the Navy was in question and that my loyalties were under suspicion.
so
That
I shouldn't
perhaps
give
I was
that
a
to you?
spy. I don't know, Moira. I like you, but sometimes I don't think you realize the reality of the worlds we live in.
Sounds like you're getting heated again.
I am.
Tails.
Ooh, it's our third tails. Okay.
So, uh, something important about your conversation has leaked out. I think, if I may, the important thing might be that uh, Marisol told Moira where they were being redirected.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, yeah, people now are like super questioning Marisol's loyalty to the Navy. That's exactly what I
Yeah.
was thinking. Same brain.
Same brain. So
Uh
that's the end of that scene.
yeah, I think there's like my name gets called and I was like, I have to go. And I just like leave.
Yeah. Cheech.
Drama.
Drama.
You two better pull it back together. We have 30 minutes, okay? Figure this crap out. We're going to end this game on a good note.
And it'll be better because there was drama.
You two can't keep doing this.
No pain, no gain.
I think it's your turn to start a scene.
Okay. Let me look at my list here. Let's see. What have we not done? Um, is this one? Let's see. Let's do the Great Hunt. Let's like end in a similar vein to how we started. Um,
Okay.
yeah, and I think we're like flashing forward a little bit. Um, and I think there's like all out war, and it's like the war has like just like spiraled out. And I think where the Great Hunt is, so the Republican Navy is chasing, I think I think it's fun that if the free merchants and the like Murdolphins have like allied, and so like
Mm.
there's like it's like this war has gotten really big and crazy. And so like we're hunting the dolphin, like the Murdolphins, and so are the cephalopodic mermaids. Like you're still at war with the Murdolphins, and we are
Mhm.
too. But like the Republican Navy we've established doesn't really care a whole lot about nuance. So maybe they just don't like see a whole lot of difference between the mermaids. Even though
Yeah.
like it's pretty obvious, like the Republican Navy is just like, no, all mermaids are now considered it like enemies.
Ugh.
Yeah, and then we're all chasing these like Murdolphins, like not together, but simultaneously. Okay. Um, so we're probably chasing them down in a ship. How are you guys hunting?
In a pod, which is a dolphin word, but in a group of 5 or 6 um cephalopodic mers.
What do you think, Michelle? Because we're all in this scene.
Nichelle is currently away from keyboard.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
um,
And she
nope,
just got back.
I just got back. Sorry. I had to step away for a moment.
no big, no big. So we've decided that there's all-out war, and the Navy's fighting all mermaids, even though only the Murdolphins are actually their enemies, and we're all going after a group of Murdolphins separately, but not together, concurrently, but separately.
I step away from the keyboard for one moment and you two pull this.
Yep, we manufactured a war. I told you, you gotta have drama.
Fair, fair.
Izzy over here, like, oh no, your girlfriend is an enemy of the state. How tragic and sexy. Very good, A plus. Yeah, so we were just deciding how we're hunting. So like I'm hunting from a ship with my crew. And Moira said the hunting in like a pod with like a handful of other cephalopodic mermaids. I'm gonna confuse
Mhm.
myself. So what do you think Nymira is doing? Is she also there? Is she hunting from a different direction? Is she doing krakeny things?
I think she's coming from a different direction, but I do have one question to ask Moira. Did she ever approach Namira about the extra tentacle?
I think she did. I don't know how that went, but she did approach, probably kind of stutteringly. Um
We don't have to like do that scene, but it probably like you feel rest assured of Namira.
Reassured? Okay,
Mhm.
So,
good.
so one relationship's going well. Okay, so we'll take turns choosing a series of at least 4, but not more than 6 hazards. Also make up our own. Uh, we can repeat them no more than once. We use coins to determine, and whoever gets the most coins captures these mare dolphins. So, who wants to pick a hazard? Or we could, the chat is welcome to throw out suggestions as well, since we can make our own. But we say that you catch wind of your quarry on the other side of something dangerous. Your quarry may have been seen near something. Your quarry is said to roost near something. A freak weather pattern is causing something, which we have established our weather is unpredictable. The ocean is tempestuous and cruel here. So that could be an issue. You return to a site your quarry has recently terrorized. So, or feel free to throw out your own suggestion. Okay, Izzy apparently really wants a hurricane. So,
I mean, she's not wrong.
yeah, I'm here for it. Okay, so freak weather pattern is causing a hurricane. Throw some coins. On heads, you weather it without being thrown off course and gain a coin. On tails, you're heading a shift and it takes some time to regain your course. So we're pursuing and heading near where we think they are. So I guess we'll all flip coins.
I got heads. Do you want me to flip it for you, Nichelle?
Yes, please.
I also got heads.
Nichelle got heads.
Excellent. So we all like navigate well through the hurricane and we all gain a coin.
Hey.
So yeah, the hurricane comes through, but I think we're all of us able to like see it well enough, come far enough out that we're able to like successfully navigate around it and change our course to avoid the worst of it and like still head towards where the merdolphins are. And we're like trying to get there ahead of you, I think. The Navy's trying to get there ahead of the mermaids because we assume that their mermaids are going to help each other out. So,
Can I try to speak to Marisol?
sure. I think Marisol's like moved up in ranks and is now kind of like she's not a ship captain, but she's like in has more command, I think. And she's probably leading this.
Yeah.
So how are you going to attempt to talk to her?
You heard
Um
about the shell, right?
yeah, I don't think that she's going to use the shell. That's between you two. Um
Okay.
I think that she tries to warn you about essentially like a whirlpool or something else.
Does she like swim up to the ship or try to send a signal or
No, I think she'd come up to the side of the ship.
Oh, I think you're met with kind of like some hostility. Like I
Probably.
think a lot of the sailors like level pistols at you. Why don't you flip a coin to see if you can convince them that you're not here to harm them?
Can you flip my coin for me, please?
Yep.
Heads or tails?
I think we see the heads as the successful one. So
Well, it's heads.
excellent. Yeah.
Biz Namira.
Namira is still good at talking to people and convincing them of things. She's still a good salesperson.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, I think she just like calls out to Marisol and is like trying to warn her.
Okay. I think Marisol's like hold for now, hold for now. But like tells him to like stay at the ready. Like so like like the pistols are still present and in your general
Mhm.
direction, but they're not directly pointed at you. And I'll like
Yeah.
come forward and be like, Nymira, what do you want?
You've been manipulated.
Who's been manipulated?
You, the Navy, false information. I don't have time to tell you all the details. You're headed into a trap. There's going to be a whirlpool ahead, and if you continue on your current heading, you're going to lose many hands. I won't be able to save all of them.
And why should we trust a mermaid?
Why should you trust a friend? Because I'm precisely that.
Hmm. I think Marisol looks a little not. She looks unsure. She's not sure if she should believe you or not. This-
Somebody wants us to be at odds. Don't want a united world. They don't want a united sea. 'Cause the more chaos they can spread, the more they can feed on fear.
You swear that you want to stop these mere dolphins as well.
I've already given you my word. On a go.
Fine. And I'll like turn to somebody like bring our heading around the commands. And then I'll turn to Namir says, "Thank you, but you should go. Most people don't see the difference between types of mermaids,
And
and I
show them
don't.
the difference.
Slowly, it'll take time. Then we're at war. People are happier to judge in war, and if we really are friends, I don't want something to happen to you. So I think you should probably go."
I'll go. But you should consider what you just told me of humans and how you've been treating your mate.
I think Marisol just like frowns but doesn't say anything.
Take care of your men and take care of mine. And I think
Right.
with that, she just leaves. She dives under the water.
Excellent. Do you want to pick the next hazard, Will?
You return to a site your quarry recently terrorized. I think this is the furthest outpost of the cephalopodic mermaids. Um, from above, it looks just like water with some trash in it.
Hmm.
Below, there are um, various structures that have been half destroyed. And um Moira is interviewing the older members of this community about what happened. So I'm gonna throw tails. Um, are we all throwing?
Uh, it would make sense because Moira and Nymeria are like, on the same side and working together. And I think it would make sense that like uh Marisol would like approach this settlement cautiously because it's clearly been like decimated. And like I think
Mm-hmm.
maybe she is also like speaking to like, I don't know, like an elder mermaid on the surface, or like a mermaid with his kids is there, like clearly looking terrified, like he's not, it is clearly just like a civilian kind of thing. It is not like going to attack, so she's like willing to listen, be like, what happened here?
Okay.
And you think he tries to convince her that like it was the Murdolphins. So
Right, I'm gonna flip for Nichelle.
ooh, I got
Head.
tails too.
Nichelle got heads.
So Michelle, uh valuable information about your quarry's current path.
Oh, okay.
The rest of us get
Um,
nothing.
I think this is possibly where we get a little bit of that Kraken aspect going.
Oh.
Excellent.
And I would almost say we fast forward a little bit
Sure.
because like Namira like just juts off suddenly from like the rest of her pod or whoever she's with. Um and then kind of like the fighting stops on the other side, sort of a deal. Um and I think that's where we come into the scene of like meeting, and the dolphins are willing to talk, essentially.
They've been cornered kind of thing.
Uh Not necessarily, but they've been heavily threatened. And possibly someone has passed due to that. I think one of the I think the way I want to explain it here is one of the dolphins were definitely like infected by the kraken,
Ooh, okay.
in a sense of like um being a bad leader and essentially riling up the populace to go to war when they don't need to be.
Hmm.
Um, and so I think Namira kind of just ended that and is like, pretty much you don't have to listen to him. You don't have to do any of that stuff. Like you're being lied to. You're being manipulated.
Okay. So it's making them pause for a second and be like, well, do we actually want to keep fighting?
Yeah.
Uh, okay.
And that
Uh,
could be like Namira curing the dolphin elder. That could be Namira, like we'll just kind of let our audience think what they will on that one.
all right. Um, I think we could do it as the second one here. Your Corey may have been seen near like um near a kelp forest. I like that. Maybe the cracking
Mm.
between kelp forests. And we say that like on it we'll throw coins, and then like on like heads, we're able to like convince this group at least to stop fighting. On a tails, they're hostile and attack us.
Okay.
I think I think Marisol is like following um Nymera around. Like saw her head off, and I think that like everyone else catches up in time to hear her trying to convince that. And I think Marisol says, if you surrender, the Republican Navy will take you as prisoner, but you will be treated well. Your injuries will be attended to. You will be fed. Like given safe places to sleep. No one will hurt you, and we will negotiate with your people about release. Like you will be safe. So you should surrender. And if you can, explain how this infectious kraken worked, the, Republican Navy may even have leniency on you and your people. For this
Okay.
war kind of thing. So I think we should
And
all roll.
I will flip. Heads.
Right. I got a heads too. Yay.
Flipping for Nichelle. Tails. You're just too spooky. So
That honestly makes sense in her position.
Yeah. They don't like this insinuation that they've been infected and are weak-willed.
mm-hmm.
So I guess that Moira and I will get coins. And
Yep.
Nichelle will not. All right. So that's what? Is that 3 or 4?
That's 3, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pick one this time because Izzy picked our weather. I'll pick it. We'll do 4. Then we can call that the end, I think, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. I think your quarry is said to roost near like some rocky islands. Like there's no like vegetation on these islands. It's like just like volcanic rocks sticking right up out of the ocean, and like these like very jagged spires that like are hard to like get a foot on. So like nothing really lives there. They're not really visited, but because but the ocean's a little calmer, and they're like in a like formation where it's like you're kind of protected from like the environment. They form like a little cove. So it's a good place to like hide out basically. So I think
Okay.
we hear that the mer dolphins are there. And we're gonna head towards there. So on heads, the path to is an easy one, and we're able to handily make the journey and can gain a coin. On tails, the way is too treacherous to risk.
All right.
Oh, I got a heads. Excellent.
So did I. One more for Nichelle. Tails.
Womp
Again,
womp.
makes sense.
I think maybe the Kraken's like talking in your head and like just trying to like throw you off your game and make you distracted.
I think it's very much oh gosh, I think it's definitely like earning like a character trauma here is it's kind of the thing that's going on for sure.
Nice.
Like the head games the Kraken is totally pulling for sure.
Excellent. I love it. Do you feel it? You're a squid. You're eating other squids. You are becoming a monster. You're well on your way to being a kraken yourself. Like, praising you for doing such a good job. It's something that's awful.
Yeah.
But all right. But we catch up, the rest of us. Oh my
So-
god. Izzy, are you feeling it, Mr. Krabs?
My god, that's beautiful.
Izzy, you're a delight. But yeah. So, because we got like 10 minutes left, we should probably say that 4 is enough. So does anybody have more than 4 coins?
Nope, I have 3.
I also have 3.
I have not been keeping track, so no idea.
I think you have like
We have
maybe 2. You have
Mhm.
less than us, I think. But you do have at least 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you have 3
So
coins, you tussle with your quarry, and you both live to find another day. So I guess we find the mere dolphins, we attack them.
and some
Um,
of them make it out,
yeah, I think
and
like
some of
they,
us make it out.
yeah, eventually they like escape us, but I think it's a pretty like intense battle,
Yup.
and they sail away. And we're all a little disappointed that it wasn't more definitive and that the war continues.
Yeah.
But I think after the battle, um, I think that Marisol ends up like convincing the rest of her crew to like let the cephalopodic mermaids come on board the ship as a like kind of, hey, like we just fought alongside all these mermaids who are clearly not the same kind of mermaids, like we should pool our resources here, we should be allies, and
And
like they agree. Yeah,
Moira gives Marisol a big kiss.
I think Marisol gets really stiff for a minute, like with shock, and then yeah, just like grabs her up in a big hug and like pulls her in and is like, I've missed you.
I've missed you too.
I should have pushed harder for the Navy to like realize that there are different types of mermaids, and I'm going to do that now. We could be allies. We don't have to be against each other. And I think with all these witnesses here that we could do that and we could end this war.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're
I'm not
welcome.
captain up to this ship, but I'm can be of the ocean. If you want to jump on in, we can just, do some quickie vows and make it official.
Uh my parents would be really upset if I got married without them there. But and it's
I
not
mean,
safe
we
for
can
them to
go get them.
travel. They're
And
very
Namira kind of like just snaps her fingers and like two merfolk kind of like show up essentially, and you suddenly realize that they're gonna do the same thing that they did to you.
no, 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 no. My father has a heart condition. You might kill him if you do that.
Oh, okay.
How about this? How about this? And I think that like I will just wait here, and I'll like run off to my cabin, and like I'll be gone for a couple of minutes, and the crew are just kind of like awkwardly standing there. I think Dylan is, maybe a little less young and a little less starry-eyed, but still at his core a bit of a like adorable tryhard.
Mhm.
Kind of like sidles up to you. It's like, I've never seen a mermaid in real life. That was really cool. You guys are great. I'm
Which one
excited. Dylan's are
did he
like
wander?
the young like
Right, but which one did he wander up to and say that to?
I think he's just like addressing the group.
Oh, okay.
Like he's being very adorably awkward and like not aware that he's being awkward.
I think Namira just gives him a wink from the water because she's like not on the boat, but I think she's like on the side of the ship, sort of a deal.
Like he grins. He's like delighted. And is like, yeah, cool. I'm glad we can be allies. I've always wanted to go swimming with a mermaid. Even though, like, you guys definitely like swim laps around us without even trying, it's still really cool. And then like Marisol comes back a couple minutes later, and she's carrying a really fancy hairpin, like really fancy with like jewels and like crazy stuff all over it. And I think she kneels down on one knee in front of everyone and like holds it up to Moira like it's like an engagement ring. It says, "Will you marry me when the war is over at a location that my parents can also attend?"
Yes.
I think
And
Namira
Moira,
responds out from the side of the ship. To hell with the end of the war. We could fix this in a few hours.
Incentive to end the war, Nymera. Like,
Right,
just like,
right. Of course, of course.
um, and Moira takes the hairpin, puts it in her hair, and then gets down, just sort of goes splat, which looks vaguely uncomfortable, and goes for another kiss.
yeah, definitely. Marisol will kiss. It is uh way less reserved than Marisol normally is, and there's some like I think hooting and hollering from like all sides. Like everybody is like like cheering and excited, and like definitely a big morale booster. Yeah, and then there's applauding and clapping, and it's adorable, and like Marisol like very gently takes the comb back out and like rearranges Moira's hair and like puts it in a little more securely.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a really good spot to end on.
Yeah. I think
Thank you so
Namira
much for
is
watching
just smiling.
/ listening.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's adorable. Thank you for playing with guys. That was super fun. This game was great. We've been playing Ocean Tides, a game of entanglements at sea by S. Gates Harpydora, which is delightful. Very easy to pick up. I liked it a lot. I would highly recommend it for your gay ocean adventures.
For anybody who is
Yes.
unaware, S. Gates is our good friend August from Standing Stones.
Great game. Love it. It's super cute. You could also be pirates. Nobody played a pirate, so. But you could also have pirates in your game. You could live out your gay pirate fantasies.
Did you want to live out your Our Flag Means Death fantasies? Then pick up this game.
Yes, it's the only thing I want to do right now. Yeah. We're raising money for Seattle Pride, so please make a donation to quite a worthy cause since they booted Amazon because we don't need corporate overlords at Pride, y'all.
We don't.
So
if y'all will give me your outros, starting with our facilitator, Will.
Thank you. I am Will. I use the AM pronouns. You can find me on Tumblr at SameNBHat. And it's been great being with y'all. Nichelle?
Yeah, I've been Nichelle. And you can find me on Twitter at Mistletoe T-Rex or more information about stuff that I do on my website at voidalspace.com, and super excited to be here and help raise money for a great cause and play wonderful games with wonderful friends. So thank you all for being here and listening.
And I'm Stephanie Allen, she, her. I'm one half of Charm Person Games. That's our logo that you see on the screen there. Like I said before, we are a queer women-owned professional game master service. You can find us at charmpersongames.com to book with us, and we're on Twitter at charmpersongame. That is singular because Twitter has an unfair number of character limits on their usernames. And you can also catch me live right now on Tuesdays over on Huntsman's Hydra, so twitch.tv/Huntsman's Hydra. I'm playing a Swords of the Serpentine actual play. We are off this week, but normally we play Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, and it is a wonderful good time. I'm playing a sorcerer who's corrupt and slowly turned it into a snake because of it. It's great times. And if you also want more just gay content, my business partner Natalie has a game called Sapphic Space Pirates, which you can catch an episode of on the Hearthside Enclave podcast.
Yeah, at Hope's Hearth Pod. I highly recommend hiring Stephanie and Natalie. They are both fantastic. Having played with both of them a few times at this point, highly recommend their services.
Y'all, I made Izzy cry live on stream.
And this is, as everyone knows, a very hard thing to do.
Yeah, I'm pretty good, so you should definitely hire me.
So, we'll be ending the stream in just a moment to restart it for the next game. When we do that, please make sure to refresh your browser, otherwise Twitch does not count your view. Because Twitch is weird like that. Again, we're raising money for Seattle Pride. You can donate to them at their donor box if you type in !donate. And if you type in !interstitial, you'll get the incentives for the interstitial game that's coming up. With me, Philo T. Hazard, Locke, and Max. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great time. This is the last game of the block, and then our 24-hour stream will be over. We have raised $130 so far still. Can we break 200? I hope so. That'd be awesome. But honestly, for our first stream, $130 is not bad.
Yeah,
Absolutely not.
So yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you everybody in the chat. We will be right back.